All right, what up? It says I'm live. And hey, yeah, sorry for the short notice. I didn't schedule this ahead of time because I thought I had something else to do and that fell through. So I decided to be here because I didn't want to get in the habit of going too long in between videos, especially if I'm supposed to be gearing up to go back live. So, all right, looks like the video camera's kind of cutting my head off a little bit, or I guess I could just move back too. I hope you all are having an awesome day and a great weekend. And thanks for being here. Yeah. So I'm going to give it a couple minutes before I read. So I'm going to basically just do a Coffee with Christy question. And I guess if you clicked on the video, you already know the title. So I'll get into that, but I should actually get a spliff going and get in the zone. I'm going to get my favorite scent ever. Sweet Daisies. Yeah. Holy crap. Yum, 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 yum. All the kitties are in, so I don't need to go away. But yeah, so I'm going to start off with that question. And then, of course, I'll get into your questions. Wait, I need more. Tuberose, gardenia, Bulgarian rose, Bulgarian lavender, frickin', oh my God, neroli, melissa, bitter orange. I said jasmine, yeah. It's a really good meditative blend. It's good for a million other things, like skin cancer, but if you want it gone in 30 days. But yeah. All right. So happy February. What are we creating this month, right? I think part of being free is also being accountable to yourself, right? So it's one thing to say, don't tell me what to do, but entirely another to be able to motivate yourself to make the best use of your time. And I'm definitely not talking from an expert perspective. I mean, I'm good at it sometimes, obviously, but I'm definitely not good at that all the time, right? But we're also going to talk about that in this topic in self-healing. So it's a really long, it was a comment on a video, but super valid questions that I thought should be talked about. Yeah. And of course, after I get through that or whatever, if you have any questions or along the way. And there's another couple questions that I need to get to and answer as well. But I'm just kind of going with the flow. And so let me tell you about my week. Dude, it was fucking amazing and dynamic, and just from snow to sun to sunsets to fantastic sunrises to mulch, dude, buttloads of mulch, turkeys, and then like the grand finale. Oh yeah, the moon rising, like right over this window, dude. I have the best view in the world right over this window. And, it's like being on the porch, but a little bit higher. And so the grand finale was the end of the rainbow in my yard. Like literally. And I just kind of thought that rainbows were those things that the more you chase them, the further away they are, kind of like water in the desert, you know? And I've chased rainbows before and I thought I was getting real close to them and then they disappear. But yeah. And it was cool because a bunch of locals were like posting pictures, oh, the rainbow. And I'm like, dude, it ended at my house. So like for 2 days, I'm like, dude, did you know a motherfucking rainbow like landed in my yard? That's pretty cool. I know I've had some pretty cool things go on in my life. But that's definitely up there. Like, how often does that happen, right? You don't, like, people, you get struck by lightning. You're more likely to get struck by lightning than you are to have a rainbow land in your yard. Or get bit by a shark, right? So I am kind of like in magic land still. I just totally felt like touched by an angel, you know? It was awesome. So, okay. What up, Aiden? How's it going? Did you see the rainbow? Oh my God. Yeah, so if you haven't seen it or whatever, it's the video on this channel right before this one. And in the thumbnails, you'll actually see snow because I just put a bunch of snippets of the week from kitties to snow to garden to the full moon to the rainbow. I just had to share. So yeah, I didn't really put a lot of effort in it. I just kind of put it together, but yeah, it's just late, you know, and I take short clips because that's all I can send through my cell phone, like to my friends. And then sometimes they get too long and then they never get sent. So like almost 30 seconds I can send, but some even less than that, but anything over that I can't send. So then they just sit there. And yeah, so I uploaded a few on Facebook and I'm like, that's not good enough. This is just fucking magical. So if you know anyone that needs a little rainbow fairy dust sprinkled on them, like, yeah, that was a literal rainbow in my actual yard. So, all right, there's that. I hope your week and everything, life is just as magical. So, all right. What up, Aiden and Derek and Hugh? How's it? And Mir, how's it going? All right. Cool. So Aiden saw it. Derek saw it. Yeah, Aiden, you came to tease me, but I actually came to like help people. So after I'm done talking shit here and reading on comments, I'm going to read the question I'm here to ask or answer. And, you know, with these questions, I don't like practice them. I literally have no idea what I'm going to say. I'm just going to speak from my heart, as always, through my experience. And I read the comment. It was like a week ago. And then I went today to copy and paste it and put it in the description of this video. Yeah, so I'll read that. And then I'm going to start answering that. So Aiden, yeah. You know I bite back. So anyways, let's try not to interrupt the flow, right? Like creators and destroyers. Do you want to create something good and experience magic? Or do you want to just keep going around like disrupting other people's flow, right? So, and people who are secure in themselves and love themselves aren't going to go do that, right? So let's create something together. Let's live a life of gratefulness and, you know, try to be a blessing. Like everything isn't always fun and games. And I know I'm a Debbie Downer, negative Nancy, whatever. I'm too much fucking Virgo or whatever. But there does come a time in life where, you know, you just kind of gotta get to work and like make priorities and goals and stick with them. So, yeah. All right. Mir, yeehaw, Hugh. Can we honestly say that the best thing about the internet is cats? Yes, I agree with that. I used to be like, dude, what's up? It's all just Why does everyone just care about freaking cat videos? I'm trying to teach you how to cure cancer, you know? But yeah, I have definitely been infected with the cat bug. I've been pussified, and oh, I'm just gonna stare at them. They're all on my bed waiting for me. Yeah. Yeah, the best thing, I think, in life, pretty much. I mean, all of nature's killer, but domesticated, I should say. Cats. Cats are killer. Aiden's hanging with a lady. Cool. Yeah, no, be part of it, Aiden. Just don't be here thinking that, you know, you're just going to troll and all attention's going to be on you, right? So, with that being said, I am going to find out how to open the comment. So which video is that on? Actually, I think I can click on it this way. All right, so, hey, Christy, I have some questions for you. Feel free to explain here or another time. Okay, so here's that other time. All right, if you just follow me for a few, I'm an artist and I like to paint the picture. So often I think about your journey, and I've followed you since Soul Journeys a decade ago when I was newly sober and owning my healing process. This redemptive era of lessons finalized in February 2020. Anyway, I seriously contemplate the things you say, such as, paraphrasing, if you aren't where you want to be now, etc. I agree with so much of it, but I get confused about the linearity of it. If we all have our own unique blueprint that unfolds according to what is best for us, how is there a designated time right now to be at a certain point or place? Honestly asking as a student, after I listen to you sometimes, I think, damn, was my healing process too slow because I haven't arrived there yet? I know not to compare journeys, but I get confused wondering about, for example, oh, should I have been settled down in, say, 2015, mostly off-grid, etc.? I wonder ultimately about the purposes of myself and others in this New World Order purgatory, where we see right through it all. We've done extraordinary healing, and yet we aren't supposed to be long or to support this reset. Yet we're in it. Then I think about God's plans for our lives as mysterious and difficult to interpret, and that gets me out of the linearity and attachment to what I think my life should look like. I would greatly appreciate your thoughts. Maybe you can organize this more eloquently than me. Okay, first off, I definitely cannot organize this more eloquently than you. But there is so much in there that I would like to address. So, okay. I know that when we're healing and taking care of ourselves, we're never good enough, right? We're never doing enough. We never could do enough. We're all, I know I'm a really harsh critic, right? And I could blame my triple Virgo or whatever. At the end of the day, I'm my own worst critic, as we all are, right? And I would hate to think that anyone else is as harsh of a slave driver to yourself as I am to me. Because while some of that works sometimes, I wouldn't recommend it. Okay. And I am super guilty of pushing myself too much and feeling like how the writer of that question does, that am I doing enough? Should I have already been here? I should have already done this. And I know we're programmed that from childhood, right? and we're supposed to be married at a certain age. We're supposed to have children at a certain age. We're supposed to have this dream job at a certain age. We're supposed to have this dream home at a certain age. We're supposed to have our degree at a certain age. We're, all of these things that we think society says is best for us, right? And we own that, right? Because we don't know better in our formative years. And then we spend all those years in guilt, going to the bar or trying to drown it in love or love less relationships or things like that, right? And yeah, basically we do a bunch of stupid shit, okay? And so we can sit here today and laugh about it and say, wow, I am so glad I experienced what I'm not. So now I can discover who I really am and say, wow, those were some really cool learning experiences, right? Because the sitting around and guilting, no matter what it is not going to do anyone any good. So are you good enough? Yes. Are you healing fast enough? Yes. Right? Are you too slow? No. Are you supposed to be exactly where I am and I'm supposed to be exactly where, you know what I mean? Are we all supposed to be in the same place? No. We are in a school. We have different lesson plans, right? Like if you are not familiar with your astrological chart, please, you should know that. Like, your social security number, right? Your driver's license number, your phone number, like all these things, and you don't even know your basic blueprint for your life. So that will kind of help you understand more about yourself, because it's kind of like what you're here to teach and what you're here to learn. And that differentiates each of us in our classes, right? Like we might pass each other in the hallway. We might even hang out in a class or 2 classes or 3 classes with the same people. But as you've noticed, you've been here a while and nothing is forever, right? So you're not going to be in the same class and with the same people the entire span of your lifetime. And some of those people aren't actually in class. So I don't need to say, don't compare yourself, because you already said that in the comment, even though that's our tendency, right? And again, from a young age, like, oh, you got to be better than this team, but I don't know if you played sports or even dance or like anything, right? So yeah, so don't compare yourself to an ideal. Don't give yourself a time frame, and definitely don't compare yourself to another person on their journey or whatever. So let me get back to that question. So, okay. So, and you said, I seriously contemplate the things you say, such as, paraphrasing, if you aren't where you want to be right now, and I know what you're referring to. I've said that quite a bit. If you're not here where you want to be right now, like find the place you want to die and the people you want to die with or whatever, that doesn't mean you're a failure. That means get there as soon as possible or take the steps to get wherever that is, right? So here's the thing. If you're already following your heart, if you're already in motion, then you are exactly where you need to be. I'm trying to motivate the people that are just sitting around talking about it. Oh, that'd be cool, but yeah, I don't know. I can't do that. And I know I'm kind of intense. And right now isn't always right now, right? But really, what is right now? And so, as long as you're moving forward, doing something every day that aligns with whatever your goal is, right? So you mentioned off grid, and I hope that's not because I was off grid or because for some reason I'm coming from an authoritarian standpoint and I'm making you feel like that's the best or the only way. And if you're doing that, it's not good enough. You know what I mean? Because I'm not even off grid anymore. I'd like to be. It's expensive. We're getting there. It's one thing at a time. But again, so we're all doing something that is setting us up to be in that place where, and think about the grand scheme of things. Like, where the fuck was I 3 years ago, dude? If you, 2 years ago, if you'd have told me I'd be sitting here right now, I'd be like, yeah, whatever. 4 years ago, living in my van. You know what I mean? Like, so in the grand scheme of things, these changes are, while they feel like shit when you're going through it, especially if you're working on your healing for 15 or 20 or 10 or whatever years, right? You feel like it's forever and it's endless, and it's true. It is endless, technically. But if you're looking for some perfection of this end goal of what's healed, you're not going to get there. I'm not going to get there. There is not while we're here, right? And that's part of this school, right? So, you know, I'll say when you're not learning, you're not really living. And is it all about healing yourself? Kind of. Like, if you want to heal the world, right? And so some people might think that, well, that's kind of selfish, but how effective are you at helping others if whatever you have inside you is still held back with whatever traumas we have, right? And so for my traumas, like, people, oh, Christy, that's so cool. You healed it. Dude, let me say something. Like, trauma, I don't even know if it's actually really like healed. It's not like I cut myself and the scar's gone, right? So I'm healed. You know what I mean? It ain't like that. It's, things are way easier. I could talk about things that I used to not be able to talk about or that would completely break me. I can cope, and I also find ways to not have to cope with things that are traumatizing, right? So yeah, there's still a lot of like self-talk and, you know, questioning, are my thoughts valid, or am I being too hard on myself? Am I being a good coach and loving myself, or am I pushing too hard? Or am I not pushing hard enough? Or, you know what I mean? So all of these questions and things that you expressed are totally 100% normal. And the fact that you're even asking those things and like seeing the whole dichotomy of healing, because, dude, there's probably almost everything I say, if anyone was really listening, like, please do it. Like, I'm sure you could say, Christy, you said this, but isn't the opposite true? And in a lot of cases, yeah, right? So for us, in reaching that point of, say, freedom, health, peace, happiness, it's when we are less strict on these goals for ourselves, when we're loving ourselves just like we would love our daughters, our children, our kitty, our kitties, our mommies, our grandmas, our plants, our what, you know what I mean? Like, so what would you do for your best friend if they, or right? If they were expressing the same thing as you. So when we can religiously or routinely learn to do that for ourselves, then we know that we're at that place of balance to where we can see things clearly, right? So if we're, say, not seeing something clearly one day, or we are influenced by something else, whatever it may be, we have discernment enough to be aware of that and not project that into other situations, and then choose ourselves first to take that moment or day or week, or, again, there's no time frame on it, right? I mean, what else do you have to do? What better do you have to do, right? Hey, Bear wants to say hi. This little guy, for people who don't know about little boy cats going into puberty, and do they act like girl cats? Kind of. And if you heard that kitty screaming in the background, it's this little guy. I was going to fix the boys that rated a 1 a month, but it's going to be 2 this week. That's all I got to say. And I don't have a problem with, if you want to fuck your mother and stuff, but I don't want him to run away to look for someone else's mother. I love you. Furball. Okay, so I guess that means it's break time. I'll grab a spliff and water and look at the comments. God, I love you. I love you so much. You are just... I love all these guys. Oh, man. Hello. You want me to rub your booty? Do you want to come up here? Oh, do I get kisses? He's the one, he's pretty freaky sometimes. He really likes to make out hard. He's, yeah, definitely not gentle. Aw, thank you, baby. Speaking of healing, like, what could be more healing than this? Oh, I love you so much. Okay. Thank you, Bear. Oh, my baby. Show everyone how beautiful you are. You're such a big boy. Such a big boy. Sorry, kitty break. Oopsie. Uh-oh. We dropped a mouse and the ball came out. Shit. I know. You need to be loved right this second. But let me find that ball. Because I'm actually gonna... Can I just put you down for... Yeah, when Bear wants... when Bear wants to... he just... Yeah, just take care of him. Okay. But let me find the ball to my mouse before I have to end the show and forget that it went rolling. Give me a sec. Oh, no. And there goes the monitor. Yay! Cats are awesome. They find every cord to yank on. That's why I've had to have all this stuff replaced. Okay, you can come back up here, baby. Oh, no. Let me move this. Yeah, I'm going to have to... It's okay. You can come back. Ooh. I did that. That's my fault. Okay. All right. He's back. Okay. So, sorry. Ow. Okay, I'm going to get to spliff and comments. Is that okay, Bear? Oh, he's such a fluffy little guy. Oh, my God. Sorry. I'm not sorry. Kitties. I think somebody already said the best thing on the internet is kitties, right? So, okay. All right. I know you don't want to smoke any of this, I don't think. All right. So, comments. Julia, how's it going? Okay, where's Casey? Casey, yeah, that's the guy. I think you should ask him. Do I look like his mama? I got some statin drugs today for my bad cholesterol. My folks want me to take half the dose and then try to get off them as they said. Aiden, I'm going to post a fucking link and you're going to fucking read it this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many years of this, dude? It's just like, are you even I don't think you want to heal, man. I think you just want something to complain about, honestly. It's just been copy and paste. All right, this is the last time. I don't want to hear about, look, here's the thing. If you're still complaining today about the same shit you were complaining about 3 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago, and you still haven't done anything about it, I don't want to fucking hear it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, really. You know? If you don't care enough about yourself, why should I? I spent a lot of years caring more about other people than they cared about themselves. And I learned the hard way that's not the way to do it, because people will fight to the death to stay in their prisons and blame the people that are trying to help, right? So here, did I post that link? Read that link. There is evidence from pubmed.gov, from the CDC, from the end all be all of medical information about your goddamn drugs and what they're doing to you. Okay? So, dude. And you know what? You're actually a good contrast. So, for this exact topic, really, you know, like I said, if you're actually moving forward and doing something, you know, then you are right on target. You're not doing something different. After all the, you know what I mean? So to the person who asked the question I'm answering, this is a good contrast. You're doing shit, and Aiden, you're not. And I don't want to hear about your problems anymore. Not until you actually do something with the 10 or 12 years of free fucking information, watching me and others heal ourselves in the meantime, right? You watched it. You fucking watched it and made fun and poked fun. And you're just getting fucking worse and still complaining. I'm sorry. This is the nicest I can be. All right? So I get it. People love their illness. That's cool. Don't fucking complain about it if you're choosing it still after all these years, right? How can anyone watch me or know me this long and still not know that you have the fucking power? Like, it's fucking an insult, honestly. It's like a complete lack of disrespect, because what the fuck were you doing here these last 12, 13 years? Right? You learn nothing. So why the fuck are you here? Just to make fun of me? Tell me I look like a boy and have a crooked fucking mouth, and you know what I mean? Tell me you like my tits, or, you know? Dude, it's 2021. It is time of self-responsibility or die. Okay? So getting back to the original question, even though I'm sorry I didn't get through the comments because I got to Aiden, had to slap a hoe. But if you are not complaining today about the same thing you were complaining about 3, 5, and 10 years ago, you are on your path. You are good enough. You are doing enough, right? But if you're still complaining about the same things today, you failed. You fucking failed your Earth school so far. Okay? So if you don't want to fail, you're going to have to fucking do something different. Okay? All right. Thank you. Smack-a-hoe. And again, I'm my own worst critic. So if you think that's mean, wait till you hear what I say to myself. That fucking Nazi cunt up there. Yeah. Anyway, she's a bitch. Okay. Let's get back to the comments. All right. And seriously, man, this is not meant to hurt you. This is meant to motivate you. Like, for reals. Because, dude, I don't have time for it. I don't have time for anyone who is not working to improve themselves. And yeah, sorry. I just don't. I don't. Okay? I don't. I did my time. Yeah, I learned. Who was it that fucking crucified me? Yeah, people like that I went out of my way to fucking help for free. Yeah. But when it was convenient for them, yeah, burn her. Yeah, I ain't playing that game no more. All right. Okay, onward and upward. Joseph, how's it going? Got salacious top 8 actor pick from a gay app. That's really good to hear, Joseph. I'm so happy for you. Was he sexy? Was he as sexy as my bear? Or Aiden? Sir Aiden? All right. Oh my God. And Aiden wants you to send it to him, of course. All right. Mere Floofy. Okay. I love the wild living room lions. They always take us right back to our innocent, loving, and wild nature if we pay attention anyways. God, I cannot use words to describe how amazing these beautiful little healers are. When did this turn into a slapstick movie? Okay. All right, cool. So I wasn't that far behind. All right. So let me get back to her question. And let's see. I should have some water first, actually. And I brought some butternut ginger cheesecake with a pecan crust that's defrosting next to me. So when I get the munchies, cheesecake time. All right. So when is enough enough? Enough is enough when you know that you are in motion, right? When you're done sitting around talking about it, when you're done sitting around complaining about it, when you're done joining groups just to talk about your misery, right? And it's, right? I said recently that the world's biggest religion is victimhood. And almost everything in our culture right now is based on victimhood, right? And who's the biggest victim and who, and all of that shit, all of those games lead to powerlessness, right? Because again, we're all equipped with the same ability to get ourselves out of whatever unlucky cards we felt we were dealt, right? Are we the same? No. Do we have the same talents? No. But guess what that means? That means we have different ones, okay? That means, so whatever it is, again, that's why it's stupid to compare yourself with anyone, because we all have our own unique abilities and talents and gifts, right? To share, to help ourselves, to help others with, like, and they're not going to be exactly the same as anyone else ever. So chasing that is completely futile, right? So you want to develop what you have, whatever is unique to you, right? Not everybody's dream should be mine. Clearly it isn't, right? Because I don't know hardly anyone, that lives the way I do. And that's okay. It doesn't mean I'm better than you or you're better than me. This is what suits me. This is what makes me feel at peace. This is what makes me feel at balance. This is what makes it so I can sleep well at night, right? Other people can sleep perfectly fine at night doing the exact opposite in every single thing I do, right? So, are you better today than you were yesterday? That's all that matters. It's not, am I better than this person or can I outdo that? That's like totally ridiculous. Because if that is ever, that competition with other people or things like that is ever part of your goal, then again, you lost. You know what I mean? For now. And thankfully, you can do it again, right? But yeah, when it comes to your own healing, as long as you're doing something, you're doing it right. Period. And if you're doing something that isn't working, if you have the wisdom to realize, well, I've been taking these supplements for 4 years and I'm still complaining about the same shit, clearly they're not working, right? Like, so you have to have the wisdom when to stop and try something different, whatever it is, a meditation or an exercise program or a living situation or your relationships or kitties, how you raise, you know what I mean? Like, because not everything you do is going to be perfect the first time. In fact, basically every single thing I do, I failed at repeatedly before something was pieced together that looked like I reached the finish line, or at least in that small goal, in that chapter. You know what I mean? But it's never the end. It's not a race. Yeah, the world's going crazy right now. People think, you know, the world is ending and the world's fine, okay? We're not fine. The world is fine. The world doesn't give a, you know, it doesn't, it's gonna go on doing what it does with or without you, no matter how you feel, period. So do you want to fight it or do you want to go with the flow and your flow, find your balance, right? So we know we're healed when we quit chasing approval or healing or you know what I mean? Like when you quit chasing approval, when you quit, oh my God. It's embarrassing. And actually I feel really sad looking at how many people are just clamoring for that worship and that need for, you know, look at me, I'm so great at everything, you know, and it's just really sad. Women selling themselves like that's the only thing you have. I'm sorry, it's sad, you know? That's not what our Earth School is about, right? Is it? You just want to be comfy, you just want to go home and have another bonbon? No. But life is also not about what the news tells you, and it's also not what I'm telling you, right? Because I can only tell you from my first person perspective, from my experience. And how I describe life can be way different than how someone else does. And I'll say this, even within this body, in this life, with these different chapters, it has looked completely different to me more than once, right? So we have the power to evolve or transcend experiences or obstacles, right? Again, Sherry Cortland called these obstacles or windows of opportunity to test your strength, to see, you know, what you really are made of. That's what they're there here. And honestly, I can't imagine going through life where everything was easy and I never had the chance to see what I was really made of. You know what I mean? I think that would be really sad. So, all right. Me and my lady friend, your lady friend. Be a friend to yourself first. But we had those conversations. My cheesecake. It's just, I cut them in squares because it's easy to wrap them and stick them in the freezer. Yeah. But this came from my garden, and the ginger came from a sweet friend, somebody who's here in the chat sometimes, because she heard one of the shows a while back when I was talking about how I couldn't get any ginger, and then sent me like a big old box. So I had to make lots of yummies with it. So it's still, yeah, it's going to be good temperature here soon. Yeah, is healing perfection? No. What the fuck is perfection anyways? Right? You know? What is perfection for each and every person is different because it's based 100% on your soul path, not on mine, not on Aiden's, not on Jesus or Buddha or Gandhi or fucking, I was going to say a funny name, but I'm not going to. It would be too controversial. And we can't have that. So, yeah, I'm going to read through that question again and see what I'm missing. And I hope that I'm getting to it properly or a unique blueprint. Yeah, that's best. The designated. Yeah. So the designated time to be at a certain point in place is when you're there, right? And again, the time thing in our head and me being kind of extreme, like, do it now! You know what I mean? Like, that's my passionate way of trying to motivate people that aren't doing anything. So I just want to say I am so sorry if I made you ever feel like you're not doing good enough because you haven't reached all of your goals. Like right now, that's crazy. I still have more goals to reach. You know what I mean? So yeah, if I have come off like that, then I do just want to say I'm sorry, because that definitely is not my intent. So yeah, and I've had all those questions like, oh, I was supposed to have this and that, and you know, so I understand that, like, self-talk and we're not good enough or haven't done enough. But yeah, so the only time you're wasting your time is if you're not learning, right? So if you've repeated the same mistake over and over, and like I have multiple times, you know what I mean? If you're not learning, then it's a mistake, right? But each of these are little lessons to build us to who we are, to know what we need to know to complete our journey, right? So, yeah, I hope that makes sense. But yeah, you are, and so even if you are making a mistake, you're still where you're supposed to be, right? Because you can't graduate and go into the 7th grade if you didn't pass the 6th grade lesson. So, okay, but even if you repeat the 6th grade lesson, that's still exactly where you're supposed to be, right? Or even if you ace it your first time and you sailed through and you're like on grade 55 or something, then that's where you're supposed to be as well. So, and we're not all in the same place or growing at the same rates or whatever, because again, number 1, we're not the same. 2, we're not in the same classes, at least for the entire duration, right? We don't have the same paths. Some, you know, like some of y'all already aced this shit, you know? So, right? Okay, let me get back to this and skim it and make sure after I listen, was my healing process too slow? No, because you're doing it, right? And again, I want to remind everyone, we are in 2021 now. I dedicated my life, practically my time, I mean, as much as I knew about, right, at the different levels I was, but since 14 years to healing myself. That's a long ass time. You know what I mean? And yeah, I've made tons of successes, like with my physical health and things like that, and obviously even my emotional and mental and spiritual health. But am I fucking perfect? No. Does that mean I'll never be triggered again? No. Does that mean that, you know what I mean? Does that mean that, oh, well, what if I could have done this? No. No. Right? Okay, so yeah, no, it wasn't too slow. And where is there really anyways, right? It's about the journey, not the destination. I think I wrote that blog in like 2007. So now I'm home. Like I truly know in my heart I'm home, but that doesn't mean I'm there. Like that's it. I'm perfect and there's no more healing. And no. So, and part of my healing is living in ways to avoid triggers, right? So it's not just being able to manage them or live with them or heal a certain pain or whatever, but also even removing yourself from unnecessary drama, right? And I know in our healing journeys, we think we need a lot more than we actually do need. But I hope that my homeless journey was kind of a testament to that we really need a lot less than we think we need, because it starts in our heart and our minds. And, was I moving fast enough in my homelessness? Was I too slow when I couldn't walk or talk and started working minimum wage jobs? Was I, you know what I mean? No. Did I feel that I wasn't good enough and too slow and, I would never make it? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You better believe. In fact, I talked with somebody today about, how the hell did I lose water? Okay. When it was, it was really hard going back into the workforce in my mid 40s, working minimum wage jobs, barely able to talk again. Like remember the things on my fingers, my knuckles? I couldn't carry anything, couldn't hold anything. I dropped everything. They're gone. Yeah, that was embarrassing, working minimum wage jobs next to freaking 16-year-olds looking down on me for being a middle-aged woman who could barely walk and work a minimum wage job. But even all that's part of the healing too, because it all stems from not being good enough to begin with. Right. And that, of course, we've already talked about that. We can blame society and MK Ultra and this and that, or we could say, damn, that's a kind of a tough school sometimes, but it's actually all right. Thanks. Oops. So let me look at the rest of that question, and then I'll get back into comments. And if you have any questions, then please feel free to put them in the chat. Okay, I get confused. Okay, I should be settled down and say, yeah, I thought I was supposed to be in 2012. And yeah, I was a little kind of miffed that, things I felt were taken away from me. And, in a way, they absolutely were. But if it was built on a solid foundation, it wouldn't have been able to be destroyed, right? So I needed all that to crumble and rebuild and do it my way. Because before, everything was based on what everyone else told me was best for me, or what everyone else told me to do, or, you know what I mean? It wasn't, although obviously I did things I wanted to do and that made my heart sing, but they were still built on a false foundation. Yeah. So I'm thankful for the crumble and the deaths, and not so much the the deaths of everyone around me. That kind of sucked, but my own, I needed that. Okay, so I wonder ultimately about the purpose of myself in others and others in this New World Order purgatory, where we see right through it all. We've done extraordinary healing, and yet we aren't supposed to belong or to support this reset. Yet we're in it. Yeah. It's totally tough. I totally understand. Like, there's even times where I break down. I'm like, well, you know what I mean? How come nobody wants to live this dream? Or, like, why don't people want to feel better? Why won't they just realize how simple it is to help ourselves and heal ourselves and live a better, more healthful life? But it's not, look, the more healed you are, the less the rest of the world is going to like you. And that's a fact. Period. End of story. So people are threatened by self-responsible people because it raises the bar for them. It reminds them that they should be taking responsibility for themselves, right? So people who want to remain in victimhood and powerlessness and stuff, they're not even going to want to be around you unless they're Aiden and want to try to tease you all the time and think that that's all life is about. And there's a time and a place for everything. And I love Aiden and his teasing and this and that. Again, a time and a place for everything. But yeah, like most of my life I spent in those prisons thinking that I would never have a house, or, for example, or I would never be able to heal, for one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I literally spent most of my life thinking I was doomed, and must have had some terrible karma, or God hated me, or something. Like, I spent most of my life in victimhood, and in victimhood, well, it sucks because I hated myself so much that I didn't really know any better. I had to blame myself because I was gaslit everywhere I went, all the drugs they were giving me and the side effects and everything they caused. There weren't no Facebook groups saying, hey, his iatrogenic disease. And there wasn't any of that. Like, it was messed up. And so if you've made it through things like that, and obviously if you're in my age group or higher, you have, because there was even, you're older than me, there was even less support available, right? So you went even longer. So pat yourself on the back for making it through that, right? Being gaslit most of your damn life and still believing in yourself enough to know that this is fucking bullshit. And I don't know what right is, but I know this ain't right. And so I'm going to keep trying something different until I find it. Really. So let me go check back. Okay. And yet we're in it. I think about God's plan for our lives as mysterious and difficult to interpret. And that gets me out of the linearity and attachment to what I think my life should look like. Bingo. That's exactly, like, when we are trying to hold on to what we think things should look like, we have to remember that we are limited based on our experiences, our traumas, our suppression, our unhealed aspects of ourselves too, right? That doesn't mean we're great or not great and don't have all these great ideas and great dreams, but God's a little bit bigger, right? Just a little bit, God's a little bit bigger and smarter than we are. So yeah, bingo. It's key to surrender, right? So once you quit fighting whatever situation you don't like and start embracing it and loving it, like even my homelessness or my beautiful, cute little van that made everyone smile, or you know what I mean? Then I was able to move on to something different, right? Because if you don't appreciate what you have and where you're at now, why would daddy give you more? Right? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that was pretty much it. So let me think about that. If there's anything else I want to add on that topic, I think I got through the whole question. If not, then feel free to let me know in the chat. And of course, if you have your own questions, then it'll just be open questions. Otherwise, I'm done, right? Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, let me get some more water and peppermint oil. Peppermint Jim, by the way. The very, very, very best mint. All right. Carol, how's it going? I got big jugs. You know. All right. Aw, kitty, kitty. So if you're just getting here and you haven't seen the rainbow that landed in my yard, I just need to tell you, go back and watch that video from the other day. It's something about it's been a good week, I think is the title. And there's just like a few snippets from the rest of the week. But dude, a fucking rainbow landed in my yard. It's so crazy. It was like the craziest thing. It was so, oh, it was amazing. Yeah, I think everybody should experience that. All right. Yeah, and I'll have to have some cheesecake. Okay, let me read some comments. Okay. Misery loves company. It seems true that relating the same old stuff over and over again to people must give temporary woe is me relief. It feels like relief, but what it's actually doing is cementing, right? And like people want to fight about how much worse their pain is and their disease is. And I know we're all taught that. Like we're all told, oh, well, this is really rare. Or, you know what I mean? So we believe the programming at the doctor or in the medical books. And then we just keep re-cementing it when we complain with whoever wants to be our complaining partner. And there's a different, you know, expressing how you, like, if you got fucked or betrayed or, you know, shit happens, like, say it, speak it, get the feelings out, right? Like, that's different, you know? Do that as much as you need to do it. But yeah, the total difference, you know, yeah, but if, yeah. So as long as we remember that everything we go through is for our benefit, then how could we ever be a victim to anything, really? Even when we are. And I'm not saying nobody's ever, people do get victimized, right? But victimhood is something that we have to choose to own, right? So, yeah. I hope I'm making sense, because sometimes I really don't make any sense at all. Okay, I had young people help me, and it was embarrassing when I was at Wendy's. They were kids too. Why were people helping you? Great dream. I agree. I would love to live in the country, but I would have to pay taxes. Not sure I can afford it. So again, Aiden, I did a video about this house, and I'll just say again, I didn't think I could afford it either. Like, and most of us, most everyone I know kind of really can't, you know what I mean? But there are different ways. There's for sale by owner, there's partnering up with someone you trust and splitting the bills, there's caretakers, there's, you know what I mean? People in the country that like have space for somebody that, you know, an extra room or barn or tiny house or trailer or something for someone if they can help them with the horses once in a while. Like, there's so many other ways to live in the house of your dreams than just winning the lottery and having enough money to go buy it, right? There's so don't limit yourself with what, you know, the limitations that we think are the only way. Open up, take a few deep breaths, open up to the possibility of having what you want, living in the country, you said. Find a different way. Yeah. And with your work and things you're doing, I mean, if you were doing something that made you happy, it wouldn't be so difficult to keep going to work, right? Or whatever it is. Or if it's something, what if it's not work that makes you happy? What if it's something that you can do from home or a hobby or, you know, and turn that into a business? And obviously not your lady friend you just met, but somebody in your life. There has to be a trusted person somewhere. There's all sorts of different types of loan programs. And then there's, again, for sale by owner, rent to own, things like that. So don't just say, oh, I can't afford a house like that, so forget it. I'm not going to look. Do something different. Look at something different. Try to be a caretaker for somebody in the country. You know? Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff. But you probably can't treat them the way you treat me. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So you laughed when you heard the big jugs. Good, because it was supposed to be funny. I'm glad you get me. All right. So reinventing yourself, Joseph says. Yeah, you could be the author of yourself and change your, dude, a whole new life is one choice away for everyone at any time. That's it. One choice away from the life of your dreams. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of fucked up drama and, you know, taking those steps and climbing and then falling over and then getting up and doing it again, right? So it's not just you make this decision and then, you know, the law of attraction just, you know, hits you with a fucking lightning bolt and then, you know, everything you ever wanted just appears right there. It's not like that. It's baby steps. It's you're selling $2 photos one day and then you're selling $1,500 photos 2 years later. That's nothing in a 2-year time frame. You know what I mean? Baby steps. Invest in yourself, whatever it is that you love. Don't just say, oh, I want to make deodorant and do it. You failed once. Big deal. Do it again. How many times did you fall off the bike? You know? How many times you fall off the monkey bars? Yeah. Casey, what up? We used to see rainbows like that in the last house we lived in. Oh, that's so cool. You're like, I am so lucky. I swear to God, there is not one single day I've been in this house where I said, I fucking live here. Oh my God. This is just nuts. Yeah. Every day. There's not one single day that has gone by where I haven't said that. And yeah, it's like gratitude and giving thanks is the bulk of my day. That and pussy in my face, of course. Okay, the Wendy's. All right, the Wendy's job. I was not able to do things, but they helped me pray the gay away. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, Ryan Stevenson. How's it going? Hi, Christy. Can't talk. Not. Can I listen at the moment due to being a call center employee? Okay, here in rural Western Illinois. Just wanted to say, hey, girl. And show my support till night. Aw, thanks for being here, Ryan. I hope you have a good night at work. Cool. Aw, she got to sneak me in the call center. That's so cool. Everybody say, hi, Ryan. Okay. All right. Casey, powder free since 1983. All right, Aiden, what about you? Okay, doing it is the hard part. True. Maybe we can talk about that. Like, so, how do we motivate ourselves when we don't want to motivate? And I'll tell you, winter, man, the only thing I'm really motivated right now is by delicious food, mulch in the garden, seeds and kitties. Like, I look at the walls, they're still not painted, if you can't tell. But they will be. I'm taking care of business. It's going to happen soon. Sometime in the next, I'll get her done. But you know what I mean? Like, it would have been perfect time, like the last month, and when I wasn't mourning over Joshua or whatever, but I just couldn't do it. And guess what? Sometimes you're just not supposed to. You know what I mean? We're not really supposed to do every single thing all the time just because we think we should do it right then and there. You know what I mean? So sometimes, as you said, Julia, all I want to do is vegetate. Me too. And guess what? Sometimes that work is even more important than painting your house, or, you know what I mean? And especially with the whole painting the rest of my house thing, like, there were certain things I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. So now that I vegetated and sat on my ass, it finally came to me. That's how I'm going to do it, right? So sometimes when we're pushing ourselves, right, to rush through things that we don't want, well, we're kind of half-assing it. So again, sometimes that rest time is actually the most important thing you can do, right? And I used to make a joke that I get more work done in my sleep. And it's still kind of true, right? So you have to, I'm talking to myself right now. This is what I'm saying. Christy, you motherfucking cunt. You have to be okay with taking a goddamn break. You don't always have to be doing something and breaking a sweat or scrubbing a fucking baseboard. Sometimes the most important thing you could do is stay in bed, love and nurture yourself. Period. Dream, create, germinate the seeds that are going to come forth, that you're going to plant in spring, right? Like, you got another month of, sticking your finger up your butt. So, you know what I mean? Be all right with that, because the first time the sun comes out, you're going to be like, fuck bad. So, but on the flip side, even with that winter germination planning time and hibernation, stuff like that, like, there's been times where I felt, okay, this is just gross. You've cried about your kitty way too long now. Get your ass out of bed and, just go walk around your goddamn yard. That was a really big deal. In fact, like, it was like several days or a week maybe where I didn't want to cook. And thankfully, I have food already cooked, so I don't have to, right? And that's why I do things that way. But yeah, cooking was like a huge accomplishment for me at one point, right? And so I have to be okay with that, because what are you going to say if your child or your best friend or your grandmother says, I really don't feel good. I'm feeling really tired. I'm depressed over my kitty. Would you say, well, get your ass out of bed and get to work, Grandma? No, you'd say, well, stay in bed. Let me rub your feet and do it when you feel like doing it, right? So be that friend to yourself and know the difference between the restful rest and then flat out like laziness. And again, how do you know the difference? Are you complaining today about the exact same thing you were complaining about last year? That's the that's the litmus test, right? So, right? Or 3, 5, 10. If you're, long gone, but just put 1 year on it. Are you whatever you want to accomplish today, or whatever, even a health thing or a personality thing or whatever. If you're complaining today about the same thing you were 1 year ago today, get your ass out of bed. That's how you know. Okay. All right. Oh yeah, no problem. Okay, I've tried to set so many goals for my art, and I feel like when I make too many, I just get disappointed. I know. Dude, I know. Do you know how many weeks I was supposed to be sitting here at the computer trying to update the websites? I'm having a hard time motivating myself on the computer. And so I was kind of like, you suck, Christy. But then I realized, well, maybe there's still thoughts in my head that aren't ready to come. You can't force that either. And you definitely can't force art. You know what I mean? Art is like God, and art is God. Art is the fucking flow. And you can't force the flow. And sometimes even the flow has to kind of go slow and take a little break. And you know what I mean? Yeah. So, yeah, I suck at that too. I have 2 big tubs of yarn next to my bed. And when I put them there, I was intending on like making a hat a day. And so the first few days I did. And then it's like, yeah, I want my hands to do something else. And the yarn's still sitting there, like I could put it back in the closet, or I could stare at it and talk shit. So I'm a glutton for punishment. So I'm going to stare at it and talk shit. But also when it's right there, when I do want to grab it. So see, I'm not perfect at any of this. But again, I think allowing ourselves that time to rest and realize how nourishing it actually is. I mean, what could be more healing than that? So, and dream time, and I like that. And then waking up with kitties. Oh, man. They're all over. Oh, God, I really am lucky. All right, how's winter garden status? Do tell, tips, tricks. My Ozarkian sister, fist bump. Okay, so I did post a couple videos about my garden progress. So I lost my peas because I didn't have the mulch in time, but now, like last week, I went through, so I had a 10-yard, cubic yard truck, and then like a 5, maybe it was more, cubic yard trailer. I got rid of the whole trailer right away, and at least 2/3 or 3/4 of the other one before the snow. And then it's been rainy and wet, so I haven't got back out to do more. I did put more seeds, so we'll see what's going to come up or not. Right now, I currently have like radishes, kales, few different kinds, mustard greens, cabbage, beets, carrot, celery, garlic, onion. I said I killed my peas, right? Yeah. Oh, and some herbs. I'm sure I'm leaving something out, but that's all right. So it's been kind of mildish, but that usually just means that we're going to get this late deep freeze. But let me tell you how mild it's been. I've been picking ticks off of my cats every day. Like, not like a bunch, but every day at one cat has one tick kind of thing. So that kind of sucks because I hope we do have a hard freeze and kill some of that shit off. You know what I mean? I shouldn't be doing that. So, but if you're gardening or whatever, like the tips I would give you is see, when like the mulch thing and stuff, it's not only protecting your babies, but it's all like if you don't plant something there, Mother Nature is. So the mulch will prevent, when you do want to get out there in spring to be all covered in grass or weeds or undesirables, right? But I like when weeds come up because most of them I want to keep anyways. And when I first moved here, there weren't any weeds. It was fucking perfectly manicured, boring grass. The whole thing. So I'm just out there fucking it up, trying to get as many weeds and natural raw areas as possible and, a little wild and crazy. Like me. I mean, them. Juliet wanting to eat unhealthy. I was salivating at my neighborhood Taco Hell. What? No, you weren't. Go to the local. Go to like some local taco shop with like a real, Mexican or South or Central American or, like, yeah. Yeah, sorry. I know. I'm not going to heart. I am going to heart because I can't help it. I'm a motherfucking judgmental, critical Virgo. Deal with it. But my Sag moon knows it's ridiculous, so I can laugh at it and not be serious about it. And then my Pisces says, I'm sorry. Taco Bell. Oh, I am so sorry. I did have a bite of it once and I barfed. I can't even imagine. Yeah. Like, yeah. I know, you shouldn't really knock a gift horse, but even in my homelessness, I wouldn't eat Taco Bell. It's like not even real food. Sorry. Go support a local, please. Thanks. Sorry. Okay. I missed quite a few and it jumped. Okay, I set many goals. All right, Julia, 10 goals. Every time I eat Taco Bell, I get really thirsty and get the poopies. I can't imagine why. Bring your own beer. Okay, Carol, since last chat, I got my first check and immediately removed my first 20% in savings to pay myself first. Yay! For my future lander house. That is awesome. Good for you. Wow. All right. Oh, I am so excited to see 1 year from today where you're sitting. That's cool. I hope, you keep us posted for sure. Okay, you can't really force the flow. It's so annoying. I know, but then you're like, well, I should be doing something, but then you can't. So we really just have to stop fighting with ourselves. We're good enough. It's fine. You know what I mean? Like, what's the rush? Yeah. So, want to know whether you are healing with rest or just avoiding. I guess that's the difference, right? Well, I do both. You know what I mean? So when I'm avoiding, like with the whole, my cat and mourning and stuff like that, I was definitely just avoiding. So what I chose to do there is just sit in my shit and stink until I just couldn't fucking handle it anymore. You know what I mean? And I knew, like, but sometimes that's what it takes to just go like all the way to the depths, and then I just bounced right back up because I got all the avoidance, crap out of me. So that's okay to do once in a while too. But, the fact that you can ask that question, obviously you're checking yourself, right? So is it a week or 2 weeks, or is it 5 years? If we're if you're still there and like if I'm still mourning my cat in my fucking bed, using it as an excuse to not get up and take care of myself, 5 years later, then we got a problem. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying you can put a time limit on mourning. Should it be 1 week? Should it be 2 weeks? Should it be, 1 month or whatever it is? You know what it is for you. But for me, it's when I'm just like, all right, I'm going to sit here and do everything as terrible as possible and just bleh, until I just can't stand it. And, you got to reach bottom, I guess, before. Yeah. So, and then I just enjoy it. It's like, okay, I know what I'm doing. God. Wow, I fucking stink. I really should take a shower, but fuck this shit. I'm going to smoke a bowl and watch a comedy and, you know what I mean? Make myself feel better, and tomorrow's a new day. So there's no magic formula really other than caring for yourself and being gentle with yourself in the process. Like you do need, again, we're accountable to ourselves. So what's the balance between being a Nazi cunt slave driver and being a motivator, or one who knows that this rest time right here, right now is essential, and there'll be time for work tomorrow or next Monday, right? But if you're saying Monday and then a whole nother Monday has come by, then you got to be the Nazi cunt and kick your own ass. I miss saying that word. Facebook hasn't really given me a reason lately. All right. Oh, I couldn't imagine being in Illinois. It's pretty, yeah, it's pretty mildish here. And I just feel so blessed the fact that I can pick a radish or a kale or any kind of green or anything right now. I am gonna, again, when it's not all super sopping wet out there, I'm gonna go do just a small little hoop over one of the 4x8s to get some other things going, and and I'll just take it apart later, so it's not going to be anything fancy, and just kind of see what I want to build, for later. But thanks for the finger up the butt. You're so welcome, Joseph. Did you like it like that? Joe! How's JoJo? Oh, it's so good to see you. And I went to post something on Facebook today, and I'm like, I need a photo. And so I decided when I clicked on open, I had no idea what photo I was going to use. And so I scrolled all the way to the beginning of the hard drive, and it was the photos you did where you put my quotes. So I used the leaf photo that you made for me. It said something about magic. So it's good to see you. Another thing that's weird, yesterday I posted a photo of my van at the Big Sur, and today the Big Sur crumbled. All right. I use lemon against ticks. Ticks hate lemon. You can spray it on their coat. Nice. Yeah, and cedar, and there's a lot they do, but they just weren't supposed to have ticks in the winter. You know what I mean? That's why I'm like, really? Yeah. So that's a good tip though. Lemons, baby. All right. Are there essential oils or something non-toxic to the kitties for keeping ticks away? Well, yeah, there you go. So Joe, as she just mentioned, lemon is one. Thyme. Okay. So cedar is something that's not toxic to the kitties, as well as lemongrass. But clove also kills them, but it's not safe to put the clove on your pets. So, yeah. So honestly, like the cedar and lemongrass mixture has kind of been like my go-to. I don't put, like, sometimes I'll put lemon, because I want it to smell good. I don't put alcohol in the sprays I use on the pets, but if I'm, like, say, spraying the house, the cat trees, or bedding or something like that, then I'll dilute it with alcohol, because alcohol also kills ticks, fleas, things like that too. But yeah, you don't want to put it on your pets. So I'll do the doors and carpets. And so let me think of the name of this product also that someone recommended. Hang on. Let me look it up in my email, because I was pleasantly surprised that that worked as well. So let me look here. I'll find it, I promise. Huh. Okay. I know I found, here it is. Okay. So the website, okay, it's called Clean Green with a K and copy. So it's like a cleaner, but it also gets rid of, like, fleas and bugs and stuff like that. So I'm just going to put that link in the chat if anybody wants something like that. But also geranium. The geranium kind of keeps them away. Mint, but mint isn't so good for the pets. They don't really like it that much. So honestly, what worked the best for me was just to spray them every day. So that clean green that I put in there. So initially I was using just essential oils, but you can imagine 7 cats in a house this big and spraying every day, and the garden and the yard, it got pretty pricey, like really pricey. So I was trying other things for, like, spraying the house, and that's when I was adding the alcohol, and then I tried that clean green stuff, and I was pleasantly surprised, because just like the cedar essential oil or lemongrass, it literally, like, kills them on contact. So I would mix that with a little less essential oil and alcohol and water, and that's what everything else got sprayed with. You could also use that directly on the pets, but I'm so addicted to how well the cedar cleared everything up, and that drama I was crying about all summer, if you were there for the flea surprise. Yeah. But like vinegar is also something that, keeps pests away. But again, pets don't really like it. In fact, they hated me for spraying them every day. And they look so adorable because Jupiter and Thor are making out right now. I just can't take my eyes off of him. You're so beautiful. So yeah, there's different options. Again, I just want to repeat. So any of those things mixed together or separately are great, but do not put clove on your pets or alcohol, rubbing alcohol. So, and then of course there's diatomaceous earth. Sorry, I've done those shows. So I'm like, oh, I'm just going to say this one thing, and then something in my head is saying, say that too, but you are moving on. Okay, so, all right. I'm depressed, wondering if you finished all that Ben & Jerry's. Dude, I'll tell you what, I ate a whole thing of Rocky Road. Yep, not all at once, but within 2 weeks, and it was really delicious, and I wish I had more. If I knew I was going to inhale it that quick. Yeah, so that sucks. All right. What a fucked up day. Hello, Bradwick. My brain feels like it's floating in aluminum nanoparticles. Gee, I wonder why it couldn't have anything to do with all the tic-tac-toes in the sky. Could it? Aw, buried a friend's cat today, was doing better after the suggestions for raw fish, but stopped doing it and cat passed. Aw, I'm sorry. Oh man, I'm so sorry. That's heartbreaking. Casey's watching basketball while learning about lemongrass. That's cool. By the way, for people who don't know, lemongrass has been proven to cure Lyme disease. And I'm not making it up. The government, PubMed.gov, has multiple studies. Okay. So check it out. All right. So Joseph, Casey, suicidal porn star. Oh, that's a cool name. Hi, Christy. Been following you since your Branson days. Wow, off and on. Cool. Great to see you doing streams here. I deleted my channel for a while and lost all my subs, slowly finding everybody again. Yeah, I'm back. And I'm actually back in the Ozarks. It's been a wild ride. So that, yeah, cool. All right. Well, welcome back. And I'm kind of trying to get my way back into just like feeling comfortable. And yeah, I will be doing radio shows here again soon. I'm still wanting a little help to learn how to be able to do the show and this at the same time, or like to make the screen go to like show you a video or something like that while I'm talking. So I have a little bit more to learn, but I'm definitely, so ChristieAphrodite.com, myteressence.net. And there's a guest writer on shiitakeradio.com, which I haven't really been putting out there because I wasn't ready to launch it yet. But we will definitely be launching that and doing at least one show a week of Shiitake Radio. So, and if there is anyone who wants to say talk shit or write as a guest author or contributor to either of those sites, then just let me know. Send me an email, ChristieAphrodite@gmail.com, because yeah, I'll give you an author account and just post away. I'm not going to tell you what to do or say or anything like that. It's just about building a place where people are allowed to say whatever the fuck they want to say and not be deleted, So I don't care. Just don't be a dick. And I don't care what you say or what you believe or whatever. Right. So, okay, Christy, unrelated entirely, though personal significance may be relevant to you. And as I'm in the process of change and have friends pointing me in this direction, how did you find Branson? Oh, okay. So Branson, well, I don't live there now, but when I moved here, and there's a video for that too. But when I left San Diego in a wheelchair with my children and dog and a moving truck, we literally had no idea where we were going. So the goal was to find a nice small town, safe place and start a new life. So the reason I didn't go to the Pacific Northwest was because I had already been there and I knew I couldn't afford it. So I didn't go further north than Colorado, and then just kind of, the Ozarks obviously had water and mountains, and that was kind of my first choice, like water and mountains. I didn't look in any small towns really in Kansas. I kind of like skipped that. And when I saw the Ozarks, I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. It was spring, and really wet and green, and like the forsythias and red buds and dogwoods were in bloom. So I just stopped at a gas station and asked for the local paper and read it and called the numbers. And that's how that happened. So if that wouldn't have worked out there and I wouldn't have found something, I was going to just continue on to Pennsylvania because, there's mountains there. Yeah, so I didn't even know anything about Branson before. I had driven through the Ozarks and one of my road trips when I was really young. And I may or may not have taken a shit in the Mark Twain forest. But the roads were like this and they were forever and there's nowhere to, so I had a shovel. I was cool like that. But yeah, so I was like fucking 20 or something then. Yeah, but so Branson, when we moved here in March of 2008, it was just random. It just looked pretty. And it wasn't really like Branson. So Forsyth was the gas station. And then the place was in Stone County, which was kind of like Branson West area. But yeah, when we saw Branson and driving on the strip and stuff, it's like, wow, it's like a mini Vegas, but with theaters, of course, but it, had like the same exciting feel but for families. So that's how that happened. All right, naturalgenesis.com. Okay, overall, I may be making a move there this spring, and any insight would absolutely be welcomed. Okay, cool. Well, things are going really well nobody's lost their job here in Arkansas and Missouri. Everything's open, everything's normal. A couple months ago, I went up for like a restaurant and like a normal day. And while most people, I guess, in most public places, I guess, wear masks, but they don't tell you to. And with the whole restaurant thing, people just like put it on and walked in, but I didn't, we asked him, we're like, dude, do we have to wear a mask to go? And he's like, we're not going to tell you what to do. I'm like, okay, cool. Cause that ain't going to happen, and then we went to ice cream and stuff like that. So this Ozark area, Missouri, Arkansas, everything's normal and open. There's lots of jobs. I don't know how long it will be that way though, with the tourist industry, and basically Branson area is built on the tourist industry. So I can't imagine the tourist industry being as big and booming as it has been, right? So I don't know. But there's always something. There's always work that people can do, you know? There's always somebody looking for some kind of help or something. So I don't know what kind of work you do or whatever, but I think it's a great place. You know, but there's lots of good and lots of not so good. So, all right. What's the chance we both mention Branson at the same time? Seriously, isn't that something? All right. Branson was almost a ghost town last time I was there. Wow. Okay. You're in Southwest Arkansas. Cool. So I'm up at Bull Shoals Lake. There's actually some videos on the channel where you can see where I'm living, but Southwest. So would that be like Clarksville or like the Ouachita Mountains? Like what's over there? There's something down there. Yeah. Anyways, cool. I'm sure it is absolutely beautiful. All right, like eating lemongrass cures disease. Absolutely. Eating lemongrass, using lemongrass essential oil. Yes. And I didn't say it. I'll go find you a couple links. But again, on mytrueessence.net, on my site, like on the products, I put like dozens of links from pubmed.gov. So you see the ingredients and you see what the federal government says about them and all of their peer-reviewed scientists and this and that. So let me go find something that has lemongrass in it and find a lemongrass link. This one might be the or one of them at least. Oh, biofilm. This is on the rosemary. Hang on, I know there's a lemongrass. Let me just type lemongrass in the. Is there lemongrass in here? I should put grass, not just lemon. Is that in here? Oh, it's gonna probably take me too long to look through all these links. Thymoquinine. There's so many. But yeah, so I grow lemongrass because of its, aromatic and medicinal and culinary uses, and kind of making your food your medicine. You kind of want to. Here we go. Okay, ticks, triggers. It's got to be. I got to have that link in here. There's got to be one in here. Hospital Urtica dioica. Okay, let me look at this one. The anti-borrelia. Here we go. This one has to mention lemongrass. Chamomile, cassia, birch, German, thyme, bay, cassia, eugenol. Okay, this one isn't the lemongrass one. Dude, go to pubmed.gov and type in lemongrass. Yeah, I thought I'd be able to find it much easier than this, but now I'm just wasting time. So, okay. But yeah, pubmed.gov, make that your Bible. Okay, I was wondering if lemongrass has to be essential oil or just eat it. You'll get benefits. That's the great thing about herbs. You'll get benefits from no matter what you do, but the oils are super potent and concentrated, right? And so to get the best use of herbs, like let's say you're growing lemongrass, you want to dry them and like turn them into a tincture or infuse them into an oil, or you can turn them into a tea, right? But technically it's an infusion. I call it a tea, right? But bring the water to a boil, turn the fire off, then put the herbs in and let them sit till tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like 20 hours or something. So it soaks up as many constituents as you can. So obviously the essential oil will be the most highly concentrated use for it. And in that case, I would use it in my skin. You could use it. You can even take it internally and I'm not giving medical advice and I'm not telling anyone what to do, but I am going to tell you to look at your product, investigate it. And if it is clean and pure, then you could take certain oils internally. But yeah, eat the grass, eat it, dry it out. I am actually making I might have it here. Is it this one? Or I'm not sure which. Maybe it's down below, but I have an oil infusion made with my lemongrass I grew, and geraniums, calendula, lavender, and lemon balm. I can't remember. I have them all written down, but that will be my next seasonal cream. So yeah, you can eat them fresh. You can dry it. Any way you use them, you're going to get benefits, but each way you use them, you're going to get different benefits on some levels. For example, some of the constituents are fat soluble, right? And some are water soluble, and some can only be extracted through alcohol, right? So like when you're making tinctures and stuff, some people think you need to use Everclear because that's the strongest and stuff, but you don't actually want to use that because then that's only going to pull out the alcohol soluble properties, right? So if you use a 50% or 50 or 100 proof would be 50%, then you're getting the alcohol soluble properties and the water soluble properties, right? So they're totally different. So if you were if you were using a tincture that had, say, a 50 proof, or a 50%, 100 proof alcohol versus 190 proof alcohol, those tinctures would both act differently. Also, with that same herb, soaking it, say, in oil and turning it into a cream or some kind of elixir or whatever, it's going to, so most of the same properties, but in different amounts, if that makes sense, right? But again, the essential oils are highly concentrated, and that's why you don't need more than a drop or two. And I hope that kind of explains that or gives you enough information to know where to look in considering what you might do with that information or herbs. Because I can't tell you to use herbs because doctors care about you. Just do what they tell you to. no matter what. And especially Bill Gates and Fauci do everything they tell you to. Okay, have a good day, boys and girls. All right, so YT search this when you get a chance, how to live stream to multiple platforms for free using Streamlabs, OBS, and Restream. Okay, let me copy this comment. Thank you so much. Copy. And I'm going to stick that right here. Oh, wait. There's no text. The fuck? How is there no text? Copy. Paste. It's just giving me a black box. Huh. All right, dude. I'm just going to take a picture with my phone. Okay. Let me take a picture of that. Cool. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. All right. Okay. That's what the hell, blah, blah. I don't mean blah, blah, but you know. Okay. Ultimately, it'll be by chance when I crash land, so to speak. Cool. Yeah. You know, I will say this. Why one of the many reasons I chose to come back, but probably the most important besides the food, why I chose to come back to the Ozarks is the people are real. You know what I mean? I feel that there's a higher percentage of real humans here. And I know there's great places and really beautiful humans everywhere. I get that. But there's more. For me, it's just good people for the most part, right? You're going to have your sex traffickers. You're going to have your, abusive, whatever, color of law, fucking agents. You're going to have crackheads. You're going to have, all the same things you're going to have everywhere else. But yeah, I appreciate how hardworking people who do work are here. They know and love the land and know how to utilize it and even like turn their properties into incomes and work hard. I don't know. It's just, you'll see people, they do shit for themselves and they're kind and helpful for the most part. Yeah, definitely. I believe that. So obviously, or I wouldn't be here, right? That outweighed my fear of the heat and bugs, even after my brain blowing up. You know what I mean? I said I would never live in a place with mosquitoes and bugs and, take a chance of going through what I went through in Florida again. But yeah, just being back here and feeling how welcoming everything and everyone was. It's like, okay, this is where I'm going to buy. Yeah. Just don't mess with the church or the, trafficking priests or cops. Other than that, everything's perfect. And, the fact that you can grow food year round, like, that's pretty cool. And that there's a variety of food walking up to your door. I kind of like that. So, all right. Aiden's bored. Oh, we bored the kid. I'm so sorry. It must be past your bedtime. Good night. All right. A lot of theaters were shut down when I was there about 5 or 6 years ago. Wow. Huh. Theaters shut down in Branson? Wow. 5 or 6 years. So I was already gone. Oh, dude, Eureka Springs is lovely. It is, oh man, it is just so gorgeous. Everything about it is art. It's, yeah. I love Port Townsend, in Washington on the peninsula, but like when I was trying to tell my friend, I said, Eureka Springs is everything Port Townsend wishes it could be. Yeah. Music here is just really heart and soul, and again, good people, not like plastic Hollywood kind of stuff. It's like real heart and soul. There's a lot of things to love about the Ozarks for sure. Okay, that's also nice to know, as not necessarily an anti-masker, but a conscious and spiritually inclined individual with a physical condition potentially inhibiting my livelihood through lack of oxygen. Yeah. I don't think you're going to have one single person tell you what to do. I mean, it depends on where you go, though, too. I don't go to like Walmart and places, Costco, or places that people may be more prone to want to tell me what to do. But I know that everywhere I go, that I'm capable of getting everything I would need. Not once has somebody told me to put a mask on. Yeah. And I don't do it in a way like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me kind of thing. It's, and in the beginning, I would just open the door and say, hey, I have a medical exemption. Am I still allowed to come in without a mask? Or I'd say, I can't wear a mask. Am I still allowed to come in? So everyone was like, yeah, sure. So, I definitely prefer the ask for permission, respect, because business owners can do and say whatever the fuck they want. If they want to require us that to walk into their place, they're allowed to do that. I won't go there, but, it is their right to say, no, you can't come in without a mask. So that was my reasoning. But now I know all the places I can go without, so I don't have to say that every place I go now. But I do have that sweater. I'm going to go get it. I don't know if you guys saw it, but give me just a second because, let me go show you. And it might give you an idea of something for you to do if you want, that might make things easier for you. So give me just a second. I got to run downstairs. All right. Thank you for your patience. Okay. So I have this on the back and the front. Oh, wait. It might be backwards. No, it looks backwards to me. But not a political statement. I have a medical exemption. And then it's on the front too. And I did that because there was one, when she found out I didn't wear them, a neighbor actually, but she's on drugs and, all that kind of stuff. But anyways, when she found out I didn't wear a mask and that I exposed a sex trafficking ring and that I was targeted, she said it was all a delusion and I'm a cute-hard and a Trump supporter, racist, and that's why I don't wear a mask. Yeah, I don't do politics. You know what I mean? Unless I want to make fun of it or use as an example of what not to do. You know what I mean? So that's what prompted me to get that and to word it that way. But, now I feel like even if I am going to go somewhere else or if I'm out on the street or I don't have to explain myself to anyone. So I don't know. I feel better wearing it because even like the health food store that I go to like once a month, there's most of the people know me now, but sometimes they don't, there's a new person or, so they might wonder, well, why is she the only, because all health food stores, they're always wearing masks. It's ridiculous. Outside the health food stores, no one is. So all right, Sir Aiden is off to spank his balls with a fly swatter. Good night. Okay, don't hurt yourself there. Mina. Mina. Wait, that's considered Southwest? I thought that would be more, isn't Mina more east than me? Let me look at a map here really quick, because I thought, Mina. So, I mean, if you're in Mina, you probably have some good drugs, right? I'm just kidding. Let me see. Oh, wow. It is right there in the Ouachita, or near the Ouachitas. Okay, why did I think Mina I thought it was more east than me. I would have failed a geography test. Okay, cool. All right. Whatever. Cool. Aw, hello, neighbor. 8 miles. Okay, you just said it. 8 miles from the Oklahoma state line. Okay. What do you think of Young Living oils? I see them everywhere on Instagram, mommy's pages. Okay. So 10 years ago or so, I did a full show on it. I don't remember all the details now, but I do not use them. I will not. I mean, and when I was homeless and people gave me oils or whatever, if it was Young Living, I was thankful, but I wouldn't take them internally, maybe topically or bug stuff or whatever. There's a lot of reasons I won't, but the number one reason, which I don't know what kind of information is available today, but back in the day when I did this show, I was able to see their suppliers, like they had it on their website. I'm assuming they still do. So I went to the websites of the labs and the distilleries and so at the time they said they harvest 60 barrels of lavender a year, but they sell 360 barrels of lavender a year. And they said, we can what was the word? Basically, anybody can go through this lab and have them make any kind of oil at any type of dilution or any type of natural or not natural. They could mess with it. And so that made it obvious. And then the whole multi-level marketing thing, like okay, this should be the biggest actually. Young Living's got a lot of fucking money, right? So if Young Living could cure gangrene and pancreatic cancer and fucking that shit on my neck and all that stuff, right? You would be hearing about it, right? Wouldn't they use some of their millions and billions in profits to let you know that they could cure your gangrene? So, I just feel that there are better oils that are more affordable. that work and that I know are pure. So I said more than I wanted to say. Sorry. Thank you for asking. I don't use it. But if I did have some, like I said, people would give me, the cute little bottles and stuff sometimes in my homelessness. And I was super thankful. I didn't say, oh, fuck you, I don't use that. You know what I mean? I just wouldn't probably put it in my water. So that's what I think of that. Okay, so just tell us what not to do. We'll figure it out. I'm going to reset the modem. Okay, another interesting plant info. You're so welcome. Write hard and clear about what hurts. Ernest Hemingway. Oh, dude, what a great quote, Joseph. Isn't that the truth? I wish I was better at writing, but you know what? Like, I think I can't write, and then people lie to me and tell me I can, but that's only in my super angry rants when I'm like all mad and I'm just letting it out. And then people are like, damn, and sometimes it'll come up on Time Hop and I'm like, I wrote that? That is so weird. So yeah, that's really good advice when you're hurting or and use it for art, your emotion, your pain, turn it into something beautiful. I really love that. Thank you, Joseph. Mir, I saw in passing a suggested article on the mobile Google homepage that said they are dude, 2 masks, you're only 75% protected. 3 masks, you're 90% protected. And some places and states and areas are requiring a mask and a face shield. Because we're not dying fast enough. We're just fucking not. Oh my God. I'm going to suck this down so I could. Oh, you know what? I should just eat cheesecake. But then it'd be hard to answer questions. Oh, that's hilarious. Julia just said the same thing. I read an NBC article that said even 3 or 4 masks was better, but would probably make you uncomfortable. Oh my God. One already is a challenge for me. Can't tell anyone though, because that triggers many, and I understand because in their mind, that is what's going to stop this. They're very, yeah, I know. Because the government has always been there to help us, right? Like, here, want a blanket? Here, want a trailer? Like, when has somebody like, hi, I'm from the government and here to help? When has that actually been the case? Like, every time they tell you they're here to help or they're trying to do something for you, they're luring you into their web. Period. Always. All throughout history. Yeah. And yeah, people get weird, but fortunately they don't get weird here because it's not completely fascist. Yeah, I think they're going to have a hard time here. There's so many good people that just like their life and don't want to be fucked with. You know what I mean? And I'll just say this. I personally know the guy that sells more firearms than all licensed gun dealers together. There's a lot of, I mean, the numbers you're hearing are like gun store numbers. There's like at least 2,000 a week going out that aren't in the stores, you know? So people like collect guns like, you know, we used to collect bras, or you know what I mean? Like, or like we collect seeds. So yeah, it's definitely, it's not West Coast or sanctuary city kind of status lifestyle in the Ozarks. So okay. All right, good to know about Young Living. I usually buy. Yeah, I love Mountain Rose. Yeah, Mountain Rose I think is very, very solid. Sacred Medicine Sanctuary is good. Dude, I'm going to have to go back and look at my thing because I'm just not there. But yeah, buzz swabs. Yeah, so, we just need to flatten the curve for a couple weeks. And here we are a year later. We're 3 masks, 4 masks, and bend over. Yeah. I don't care. I don't care to be anywhere around anyone or anything that thinks that's normal. And if that literally means that I have to stay right here and never leave my property the rest of my life, I'm fine with that. Yep, I'm fine with that. So I got my traveling and all that stuff out of me. So cool. I got through all the comments. And welcome back, Casey. Yeah, it's pretty insane what people are. Yeah, but again, it's a totally different life out here. I don't see all of that stuff, so. There is a channel on YouTube, Ask a Mortician, and she just made a video talking about how overwhelmed her funeral home, and all the funeral homes in LA are, and it reinforces the whole mask idea and the whole stay-at-home lockdown order. Welcome back, Bradwick. Yeah, whatever. According to the CDC's own website, we've had less deaths this year than 50 freaking practically previous years. So I don't know. Did they fire everyone? Like, why can't they, and how come the hospitals are still empty? Still, but they're lying and saying they're not. So I don't know. And believe it or not, yeah, I'm isolated in the country, but I actually have more of a social life now than I have since high school or my really young working in a bar days. You know what I mean? I don't know anyone that's sick. Not one that has got cooties. Not one. I don't know. I had people here today. I had people here yesterday. There'll be people here tomorrow. I'll be in multiple other places the next day. There's nobody knows anyone. So, and I know a lot of people, you know what I mean? You would think somewhere in my phone book that somebody I'll just say if it was real, they wouldn't have to convince me. Boring. That's all I gotta say. This is the fucking most boring, stupidest panicdemic ever. And it's bring on the real one. You know what I mean? Give me something to work for. Give me a challenge. Because this is fucking boring and lame. If it was a real pandemic, people would be here begging me for my medicine. All the shit you don't care about now, people would be here begging me. Nobody has asked for anything to help them with a flu or the cooties or anything like that. Now, there's other things, menopause, skin issues, depression, heart disease, autoimmune, those types of things people want help with. Not one single person wants help with the fucking flu. So, whatever. California is going to be fucked for a while, for sure. I believe that. She's complaining the government isn't doing anything, isn't stepping in and helping. What does she want? Okay, so give your power away and keep begging the government, because that's worked for what, 250 years? Like fucking magic, right? Yeah, that worked so well that we have such an affluent, hardworking population that has skills. You know, because we have, yeah, so whatever. People can believe whatever they want to believe, but I'm not going to entertain their illusions. So, they are allocating only a few beds or rooms for cooties patients. So when the 8 to 10 fill up, they can say, oh, it's a hospital full of sick people. Yeah, why don't they tell the truth about all the people in healthcare that are quitting? Or, oh, hey, Jupiter. What up, Joopy Joop? Aw, do y'all remember Jupiter? Oops, we're gonna lose this. Uh-oh, you don't want to say hi? Oh, my baby. Here, I want to show you off because you're so cute. Show everyone how cute you are. Show them your face. There you are, Jupiter. Jupiter. This is my beautiful tripod. He's so sweet and funny. He's like the Big Lebowski, Jupiter Trooper Lebowski. He's always walking around with his Kahlua cream like, I don't give a fuck. He doesn't. He's just so amazing. Aw, nothing holds you back. Aw, nothing holds you back. Beautiful warrior. All right. Joe, seasonal flus disappeared. That's almost funny, but not really. I know. It's like, okay, so it only took us 2,021 years in recorded history to finally cure the common flu. Rejoice, everyone! Oh my God, Jupiter wants my fucking cheesecake. No way. How'd you know that was Are you gonna look for something else? I love you. Yeah. So, okay. Yeah. And, okay, let's not forget, just like 2 or 3 years ago, the CDC was saying there's 600,000 deaths, heart disease related deaths in America every year. How come nobody cares about that? Come on, Jude. We're not going to do that. How come nobody cares about that? How come nobody cares about the people who can't get cancer treatments or other treatments that they think they need, right? And that are dying because they're not having them, because once you become dependent on certain things, right, and your body quits producing, say, the insulin or the, whatever you need, and you become dependent on whatever, and then you don't have it, you die, So really, cooties should just be called genocide. That's pretty much all is going, well, that's not all, the corporate takeover, like the complete corporate changeover, because there's also big ones that are going to go down too. It's not just little people. But don't worry, you can get your hair cut at Walgreens in California. So, all right. It's odd that it seems extreme in some areas and not in others. Are they poisoning certain locations to make it seem bad enough? They're saying there's a stronger strain now. Yeah, I don't know. But I do know that city lives and country lives are, look, you cannot live an entire life denying what you are. And we are nature, right? So if you're in a fucking cubicle in a concrete jungle and you're not getting your sunshine, right? You're in an office all day. So you get home and it's dark and, or whatever, right? A kitchen, or you're not taking care of yourself. Like that type of lifestyle is more prevalent in the city. In the cities, you have how many millions of people walking around with their wireless devices, and then how many towers, and how, more fear, more energy. So, we have the power to make ourselves sick, right? I think people who just watch the news all day are sick, right? So that tests have been proven to not even be accurate at all. So it's not just false positives. It's just they can make it come out any way they want. The PCR and the different rotations. So now they've reduced that. So now that the B word is in office, so apparently, that's going to go away. It's so much better. But yeah, I don't know. Are people getting sick? I'm sure people are getting sick of something. Could it be a bioweapon? Maybe. Possibly. Do I fear it in any way? Absolutely not. Do I think that it is prevalent as what they say? Absolutely not. Definitely not. Because we would see sick people. Why are stores busier now than before? If everybody's so sick, the roads are busy, everything is going on like normal. If there was no TV, there would be no pandemic. If it was a real pandemic, I wouldn't be able to take my kid to the dentist at all. And they would have special medical bins set up to throw away masks. Exactly. Whereas it's so toxic. Where's like the hazmat, dumpsters and like, really? So just throw it on the floor when you're done and that's all right. I mean, so why aren't those trees and grass and flowers poisoned? And then wouldn't they they might cough and get it on the next person that walks by or the doggy. And then the doggy is going to bring it into the house. And then, it's like, if it was a real pandemic, Costco would not be open. Walmart would not be open. None of this shit would nope. A Christy tea saved me from death's door a couple years ago and I had pneumonia. That is so cool. That's awesome. Good. All right. And Casey is back again. Casey's back. Back again. Casey's back. Tell a friend. Casey's back. Casey's back. Casey's back. Casey's back. Aw, we had Joe's kitty, Jupiter. Aw. All right. She's saying the government isn't stepping in helping with the overwhelming amount of bodies. They had refrigerated trucks that are filled. She's saying the funeral homes are left responsible. I do know somebody that their friend's dad died and the body still has not been cremated. So I do know that some bodies aren't being buried, but as to why, I got no clue. I mean, weren't there some regulations saying that they couldn't for a while? And I don't know if they're actually, I mean, other people are having funerals and being cremated, so I don't know. But again, CDC's website, Less people died in 2020 than 2019, 2018, 2015, 20 fucking 1984. Less people died in 2020. How's that? How did we have burial sites and crematoriums before and now we don't? I don't know what's going on. I know it's engineered bullshit, and that's all I know. I mean, liars lie, right? You can't so the government lies about every single thing else except this one thing. And the CDC and the FDA and the pharmaceuticals lied about every single drug and vaccine except this one. I mean, it's not even a vaccine. Okay, by definition. So, but they're calling it that because then they can push it through and not have any liability. So, yeah. So, and again, if that was so great, why would they have to force it? And why would they have to bribe you or pay you? Whether it's hours on the clock for some dumb corporation or some fake, stupid stimulus that they just can't get it right. They're just so busy with so many more important things. They can't possibly think of how to help the people. Yeah. That's so funny. The big pandemic emergency is coming when all these people figure out that the vax is not at all for health and turns people into jellyfish. Right. The Walking Dead is a documentary, man. That, yeah. Yeah. I've been seeing it for a long time. I mean, Bradwick, you and other Casey, you've been around a while, so I've been saying this way before this shit came about. I've been seeing what's happening. You know what I mean? So, yeah, The Walking Dead is a documentary. World War Z is a documentary. And what you need to understand about World War Z, if you don't watch that whole terrible movie, the only thing that matters in it is that the zombies only attacked the healthy people. The other zombies or sick people were invisible. So if you're getting attacked, that's why. You know what I'm saying? It's always the destroyed that want to go out and destroy. So just keep that in mind. Tripod land shark, cootie genocide. The stronger strain is the result of forcing your own exhaled breath back into your body with it. Exactly. So with a scam, that's great. That, absolutely. And even Fauci, of course, they rewrote history, but there are places where you can see what he actually said about certain past alleged pandemics, that more people died from wearing a mask and the bacterial diseases like pneumonia that it caused. And what was it? World War II or whatever? The troops, more of them died from the vaccine than the war. Yep. Do whatever you want. Proceed with caution. But I'm just not going to believe a liar again. I believed liars for a lot of years. And even after I found out, 9/11's a lie, but they got to be telling the truth about this one. And then you find you know what I mean? It's that's what they do. Govern, control your mind. That's what they do. So I personally will never believe anything that any government says ever, because I'm done abusing myself by allowing others to pretend they have authority over me, right? And gaslight me. And I ain't doing that. 30 years, 35 years of gaslighting, no more. So the city is poison, basically, until we build an awesome Earthship city. Yeah, but even what they're doing is all on their terms. You know what I mean? In their circles, and that's not going to be healthy either, because then you're not even going to have your own goddamn space where you can fart without the neighbor in the next pod hearing you. And of course, that would be rude and anti-human. So here's a pill for that. Have you all seen or read The Giver? That movie is pretty good. All right. So maybe that's why this vac started in cold weather, so they could maintain frozen bodies without trucks. Wow. Yeah. And what the hell? It's like negative 90 or 190 degrees. I don't study this stuff because I don't care, but I come across some of it. But yeah, was it negative 90 or 190 degrees? That's, yeah. All right, antifreeze. Okay, so I wonder how long it'll take until people can't take living like this anymore. But I trust in God's plan, so I'm not worried. Just take steps to feel more ready. Right, I hear that. Yeah, I wonder how much more will people take? You know, personally, if I did not listen to my own advice and say I was still in a city or a place where they tried to shut my business down, I would not have. I would not have gone along with any of it at all. Just like I haven't here, except I'm kind of removed. But, you know, I almost bought a cafe. I almost did end up with, you know, there was a lot of businesses I looked at last year when ultimately I decided that it would go into a house. Yeah. So really, if the people shut down because the government told them to, I mean, what does that say about your backbone, right? Just like any old bully tells you what to do and you're just going to fucking go do it. Like, let him fine you. Take it to court, man. You know, no court can rule any of that's constitutional. So just do the right fucking thing. Who cares how many tickets they throw at you? Do the right thing, you know? I have two grandparents, and now my sister and her husband have gotten the job. Oh shit. My sister didn't tell me. I heard from my dad today. You can't convince anyone. That's true. Yeah. And you know, maybe we're the ones in school and they're not. Maybe we're the only real humans, right? And they are placeholders or, you know, like teachers to kind of see how resolute we are in our purpose and our path, right? So maybe they're just there to see if they can convince us to do what the family says or do, you know? And a lot of people do fall for that, which means that they don't actually believe the bullshit that they say they believe, whether that's God, whether that's the Bible, whether that's nature, whether that's natural law. You know what I'm saying? So what if these, you know, poof, they're just there to test you, which that's kind of, you know, it's sucky to look at your family that you've loved your whole life and this and that. Fortunately, my family hated me, so I had a lot of practice at not chasing love from vampires, you know. And I'm not saying your family is vampires. Most people aren't, you know, but we're not all the same. And maybe it's their job just to help test you. I don't know. I've already said that I believe a very, very small percentage of humanoids on this planet are humans. And I don't even, these are just words, right? So maybe we're not human and they are. Maybe this is their planet and we're the aliens. Or maybe we're all different kinds of, you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of classes going on at the same time, and not all of them overlap, and we're not all in all of them. So yeah, that sucks. You got to sit back and yeah, let me know what happens with your family. Indeed, we saw it coming, but I wanted to believe it was further off or somehow it would be diverted. Dude, I saw it though. I saw the vampire. I saw the zombies before they put the masks on. That's why for the last 5 years, I'm saying, take your fucking mask off. Take your fucking mask off. That's your only chance. Take your mask off. Like, go back and listen, And I didn't even know masks were in the future. I just saw everyone wearing a mask. I've never seen the same things other people do. That's why my mom thought I was crazy. One of the reasons, you know what I mean? I'm like, Mom, I see monsters. These are supposed to be the pretty people and the cool people no, they're monsters. Not everybody looks like a human to me. They look like who they really are to me. So yeah, so I'm glad, because it's hard kind of being, seeing everything different and seeing the future and not really knowing if, what, when, whatever. But now everyone, so basically everyone with the mask on, they just identified themselves. I either can't think for myself, or I am going to let other people bully me into hurting myself because I can't stand up for myself yet. Or, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, sorry, if you're forced to hurt yourself to keep a job, what does that say about your character? Did you pass the test? Probably not. Right? You find a way, whether it's a medical exemption or you fucking quit. But anyone who tries to force you to hurt yourself and you go along with it, sorry, you're the problem, not them. It's like when you play with your brother or sisters or whatever when you're growing up, or the neighborhood kids, and people would dare each other to do stupid shit. And like my brother and his friends were a little more wild, and they would just go along and do it because, who can do the worst, craziest, shittiest, stupidest thing and still live through it, right? They're still playing that game. You know what I mean? You don't have to play. But if you do play, you will be consumed by the same parasite that you feed. I know, Julie, it's like the movie The Time Machine when the sirens blow and they all start wandering toward the cannibals in the cave. Fauci is connect to one of the jabs, and he and his people will make a ton of money. It's insane that anyone, gets this. It's unbelievable. I know, it's mind-boggling, honestly. It's honestly crazy to me that 7 billion people allow one person / family, British royal family, to own 17% of all the world's land. Like, that's a problem. And I know it's not even the worst one, for reals. Yeah. But again, I'm not worried. I trust in the divine plan and know this world is a mix of heaven and hell, and each person, each soul has to choose. Smart, Mir. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, no fear, really. I mean, we're all gonna deal or have dealt, there's always going to be stuff we don't like, but again, it's for our best, our greater growth. What are we going to do with it? So, and yeah, we don't have to play. And that's how we win, right? We win by not playing their game. They know the rules. We don't. They are not transparent. Why would you willingly follow some motherfucker off the cliff that has already sent how many millions and billions off the cliff? Let's not forget, what was it, 10 years ago? $250,000 a year We're dying taking medications exactly as prescribed in this country. 250,000. That's more than cooties deaths every single year. But this drug's okay. Okay, I need cheesecake. The Vax hype is what I imagine the way Heaven's Gate was sold to people for reals. Christy's back again. Christy's always wearing those sunglasses that I know. When I saw certain movies like that, I'm like, that's it. That's exactly, I know. But it's, yeah, it sucks. Because then when you see it and you say it and nobody else sees it, then you're crazy and you need a pill. Keith Utzi. How's it going? At the end of the day, all you can do is just be you, not caught up. Exactly. So yeah, back to the rainbows and all of that good stuff. Cheesecake time. Sorry. I'm going to eat it though before it. Oh God. Butternut ginger pecan crust. Okay, so if you guys have any more questions, let me know. Otherwise, I'll eat cheesecake and make a mess and look like a pig. But that's okay, because I love pigs. Oh, wait. That's offensive to pigs. Super fucking sorry. I want you to have some. Everyone should be required to read all the stories of 2-month-old babies that die after getting their jabs and then tell me it's all safe. So I'm going to find this group on Facebook because it's not a pro or anti-vax. I just read the stories, and it's the people who took the jab, and they tell their, any pre-existing conditions, which one they took, when they took it, and their symptoms. So I am going to find that group, and I'm going to post that link in here. Here it is. Okay, so it's called Where'd it go? Is Facebook hiding it? Here it is. That is so weird. That was really hard to find. Okay, so it's called Cooties 19 Vaccination Reactions and Feedback. So again, it's not a pro or con, and I think it's awesome that people that are doing it are sharing their stories at all. So I just put the link in the chat for those who want to go in and just read the stories. Don't be a dick. Don't tell people they're stupid. You know what I mean? Just pay attention though, because over 90% that have posted in there have had a reaction. Some of them death. Good night, Casey. Love you too. The butternut grew in my garden. So it's definitely the best cheesecake I've ever had in my life. And actually, I've heard that from everyone I've given it to. And one dude said it wasn't even just the best cheesecake ever. He said it was like the best cake, pie, dessert he has ever had in his 70 years. So I agree. 23 elderly people died in Norway soon after the vax, but it had nothing to do with that, they say. I know. Isn't it terrible? It's gaslighting. But once we know ourselves, we can't be affected by that, right? We can't be bullied and shamed into things that, you know what? And even if we're wrong, even if we are 100 fucking percent wrong, let's say that fake vaccine is the best thing that anyone can do for themselves. Whatever happened to my body, my choice? Like, why are we not allowed to say no to having things injected in our bloodstream? Because I guarantee you, if I had any of their fucking chemicals, have you seen the ingredients? If I had any of those ingredients and tried to inject them in your kid, I would be in jail, right? For trying to poison you. But if you're rich and you can make billions of them or millions of them, then it's not poison all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Joe just said we had the same thing I was saying. Fuck, this is good. Sorry. My son was sick for an entire week. The last ones he had, oh wow, and it worried me so much. Other parents acted so weird when I said it was from the job. Yeah, then they look at you like you're delusional. You're just making it up. Because you're a racist Trump supporter, don't you know? And a Q worshiper or something. Love cop. Sorry, see, it was perfect temperature. I had to eat it. Sorry. Oh my god. It was fucking good though. Good to see you, Love Cat. You posted a link? I didn't see a link. We have a right to be wrong or right. It's our choice. Yep. And yeah, it doesn't matter. You don't have to justify saying no to putting anything in your body or your kids. I completely agree. Aw, it's a joy for you to be here. Thank you. My uncle was sick from cooties, and my cousin took 2 shots to stay safe because he works in the medical field, ready for this cooties to be over with. Wow. Well, let us know how he's doing, say, a year from now. I know 2 people that got it, and I'm keeping a good eye on them. But that's all I know. So, yeah, I don't know anyone else that got it. I wonder if YouTube blocks you from leaving links. Sorry, that was so good. I wonder. I know there should be something that I could touch or click to make it so you could be like a moderator and then you're allowed to post links, because I've seen other people do it, but I don't know where to find that. Let me see if I click on your name. No. Love Cat. Okay, I'm going to add you as a moderator, Love Cat. So try to post your link again, and that could be it. Because I was trying to post a link in someone else's show, and that's what they had to do, and I just figured it out. So if anyone else wants to post a link, I'll add you too, and yeah, because that's not fair that I can post links and you can't. Cool. 2:54. All right, it's almost 3. No, I still don't see a link. Keith needs cake. I'm sorry. If you were here, I would give you some. I have a freezer full. Yeah, and I gave some of that away today and I don't know, recently. So I'm like, I need one for me. Today's the day. So Lovecat says it worked, but I still don't see a link. I don't understand. Wednesday, what's up? I was eating my butternut ginger cheesecake with a pecan crust. And it was lovely, obviously. So I'm not the only one that doesn't see a link. Okay. Yeah, I don't. Oh, there's a link. All right, I see a link. Cool. Open in new tab. Oh, so this is basically like, okay. So the same thing, like that group I was telling you about. Oh, wow. Yeah, it looks like it might even, oh my God. And there's so many on Twitter that I see too. Awesome. Thank you so much for that link. I would say the link out loud for people who listen to this show later, but you can't really it's just a whole bunch of letters and everything. So I guess if you are listening to the follow-up, look at the live chat replay, I guess right now, obviously, for that link. And yeah, you should definitely put it in the comments. Wait, where'd we go? Okay. Yeah, that's, yeah. Yeah. That's terrible. Thank you for posting that, Lovecat. And yeah, pretty please put it in the comments too. And then maybe we can, yeah, that's a great link. It looks exactly like the group on Facebook plus Twitter. And because, yeah, I don't hardly see anyone saying that, like a few people, like they'll just say, oh, my arm hurt or whatever. And there's been a few people, I liked the post that they said they haven't had any reactions yet. And obviously that's good to hear. You know, I don't want people to hurt and end up with autoimmune or dead or anaphylactic shock or bleeding brain. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Bradwick, there's really no way to undo the cooties. Yeah, probably not. I mean, look how much all diseases vaccine damage, you know? Asthma, diabetes, autoimmune, mental issues, you know, cancer even, allergies, like arthritis. Yeah. Joe, you only know 2 people who want it. No one else will. Yeah, I know 2 that had it. I was so sad when they told me because they are just really beautiful people. Yeah, I'm going to cook them dinner here. So, and you know, like I still see them and hug them. And so if it's shedding, it hasn't shed onto me. So that's probably good to know, I guess. So far, so good. I mean, we're not like swapping spit or anything, but a hug here and there. Mods can, but I don't like being a mod. I won't make you be a mod. I mean, there's nothing, any drama in here anyways, but if it's the only way you can post a link. But I can unmod you if you prefer. post the recipe. Are you talking about my butternut ginger cheesecake? Recipe. So I roasted the butternut and pureed it. So obviously I started with that. To which I probably added a little bit of sugar and a little bit of salt. And when I roasted it, I had olive oil on it. So I also, so in the mix, then I added like some egg and some heavy cream. So then with that, I just made like a regular normal cheesecake with cream cheese, sugar, eggs, vanilla. And then I just made a pecan crust and mixed it all up. Oh, and a buttload of ginger, a whole bunch of grated ginger. And then let's see, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and also powdered ginger. Yeah. That's all. Okay. Yeah, that's an awesome site. So that's like screenshots from other places and their reactions. So yeah, that's a really good one. Okay, I saw a video from Truth or Girl showing. Oh yeah, you saw that one about her mom. Yeah, her. I would not want to be Sonia and going through any of that right now. I just can't even imagine. Oh, fine. Yeah. Okay. So here, Wednesday, if you want to put it in the comment section, or I'll just make you a moderator and you could stick it in here too. Okay. So they're killing off the elders. Absolutely, because then that just, keeps us disconnected from who we are, skills that they had that we don't have. Like the people that are dying now used to live without refrigeration and still knew how to keep their food cool. You know what I'm saying? Like those are skills that they know how to knit or crochet or build, or, they know how to can, they know how to, livestock. Yeah, they know things that we don't know. And that information will be lost forever with them, just like everyone they've genocided, right? Like nobody knows their roots anymore. Nobody knows who they are anymore. And that's why we're so easily controlled. Because if we were in villages with our tribes or whatever, we would be telling stories by the fire all night, every night about this, right? And dancing and giving thanks to God, to nature, to life. We would be appreciating every drop of rain and every plant and know how to utilize it and build our own shelters. But instead, just keep cutting off the top. And then you have, a bunch of children. Like I did that video comparing the calling of our disconnection from who we really are, different cultures and things, which all of their so-called anti-racist stuff is really just homogenizing everyone, which I think is terrible. I miss culture, real culture, people like staying true to the ways of their country or their tribe or their whatever. You know what I mean? Like that was like the best thing about growing up in San Diego. Like being a minority was not a bad word. It was not a bad thing. It was awesome. I got to learn a whole bunch of shit from a lot of different people that came from different parts of the world. And not just the food, but, And I think that's beautiful. I don't think we should all try to be the same. You know what I mean? Every culture has so many things that they are beautiful and wise and amazing for, right? That's, yeah. But no, the United States, like, yeah, this big joke, it's the melting pot. Okay, that's great. But why are you trying to make everyone the same? Not so great anymore. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I miss culture. And people proud of it and their heritage. And, you know, like I loved, like in Southern California, there were areas for, you know, you had like Japantown, Chinatown, Greek Town, Little Italy, like all the different areas and the different people doing their own thing, but not in a segregated way, just in a way that we could take a trip around the world today and honor and learn a little bit from each of these cultures, right? The natives, how many kind, right? I think like on the peninsula, there were like 27 initially, and now there's, I don't know, something like 7 or something, you know, yeah, it's a really low number. I don't think that's cool. Yeah, we've lost a lot of information that way. But yeah, I was talking about that video I did comparing this to when they go in and clear cut the trees, you know? And when they clear cut the trees, they always leave like 1 or 2 big ones and then a few little babies and then plant all the rest, right? And so when everyone's like little babies dependent on the person who planted them and they don't have the older, wiser trees there to say, hey, no, they're just setting you up to chop your head off. Oh, shut up, boomer. You don't know what you're talking about. You know? Yeah, because all the elders are dead. We don't have anyone to reference or, yeah. Cake recipe, please. Yeah, so just a normal cheesecake recipe, right? So I think, what is that, like 16 ounce of cream cheese, 2 eggs, I think, and a half a cup of sugar, something like that. So then just make whatever with your butternut. Yeah. Yum. 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 And then just mix it, and then you'll end up with like 2 cheesecakes. So I heard about some of the vax that have allergic reactions. Some people are nervous. Yeah, it should be. Where'd the... Okay. Roasted, yeah. Oh, you make it sound so easy. Sorry. I've been making, I don't know, like really a cheesecake is like 4 ingredients. So then I just mix that with, so a butternut or pumpkin or some other type of like Seminole or other sweet squash kind of thing, or dessert squash, or even a sweet potato, dude. And yeah, so roast them, mash them. And I actually... like sometimes when I just hand mash it, there's going to be like stringy and stuff in it, right? So if you don't want that, then stick it in a pan, like a wide bottom, thick bottom pan, and put just like a little bit of water just to loosen it up. And as you heat it up, use the immersion blender, and then that'll make it super smooth if you don't want strings. And then I just grated the ginger. There was some heavy cream, egg, a little bit of sugar, and that was it. I literally just mixed it. And so I crunched up pecans for the crust. Yum, yum. Actually, in this one, I used pecans and graham crackers. not very many graham crackers, but yeah. And so it gets that nice little pecan crunch. So, okay. I'll go. Five Flames, what up? Stupid work again. I'm sorry. Yeah, and we'll probably gonna wind down here soon. Okay, so Wednesday I'll find the link later. Okay, so that's why we have to soak up all the gold nuggets like sponges, discard the horrible stuff from the past, and progress harmoniously, rooted deeply and reaching our highest. Right. Yeah. And, also part of the MK Ultra program that we've all been under, Rusty Moose addressed ageism on my site and how they planted the seeds to, make the different generations fight, right? Everybody's blaming the other generation, right? The boomers suck, the millennials suck, Gen X sucks, I don't even, everybody sucks, right? But yeah, so that was, if you go to ChristieAphrodite.com and just put MK Ultra in the search bar, his articles should come up. Or if you go to author feeds, just go to Rusty Moose, and he pulls out a lot of real life crazy info. Like, did y'all know when Pepsi was one of the world's largest militaries? Yeah, if you don't know that, you need to go read about the MK Ultra joke on ChristieAphrodite.com. Yeah. And really, so we win the game by not playing. We don't have to, really. Obviously, we talked about the topic earlier, which had nothing to do with current affairs or anything like that, but we kind of talked a little bit about it. But without the news, what would, to give us that to talk about or care about, what would we be doing? And that's kind of how I look at things when distractions like that, or news, or hey, look over here kind of thing gets in my way. I'm like, well, what else could I be doing that would be way more productive? What could I learn about being a better tender to my fruit trees? Or what could I learn about, making a better goat pen? Or, what? So that's kind of like, so hypothetically, what would we have been talking about the last, say, 40 minutes if there was no news? Right? How to be a better human, Project Love Your Neighbor, how to help ourselves better, how to follow our dreams, how to heal our traumas, how to be a blessing to other people, how to be, right? How to wild forage, how to take care of your chickens, like there's like so much more, how to fish, there's so much more to learn in this real life that it's still there. Despite the news, the butterflies are still flying, the birds are still singing, they're not stressed out one bit, they're not wearing masks, they're not afraid of anyone, they're still singing their songs, the water is still flowing, the clouds are still moving, except when, they're vaporized with Mountain Dew, or whatever, the fish are still fishing. Not fishing. Sorry. You swimming. Yeah. The air is still blowing. The sun is still shining sometimes. Whatever it actually is. The moon or whatever that actually is still rising. Grass is still growing. Kids are still laughing. The trees are still there for us to climb. Think about all the time, like, sucked up in our lives that we were tricked to pay attention to somebody else's fucking false narrative when real life was here all along. Hey, come play with me. Oh, yeah, I don't have time for... Oh, dude. The moon. Right out the window. I hope you'll be able to see. Yeah, so I don't know how to zoom in on the webcam, but yeah, so it doesn't look as cool as it looks for me, but that was cool. I love that window. I think I said that. But yeah, there's that, right? That's still going on. The kitties are still making out. You know, like everyone else in the world is still having fun but us. Because we're paying attention to what these decrepit fucking soulless corpses want us to think. So you want to live life on your terms, following your heart? Or do you want to follow some demon's fucking sick agenda? That's really what it all boils down to. Because you're either living your path, building your dreams, or you're building somebody else's. So, I kind of want to build my own. It's way more fun. All right. So, it's like Americans and Australians speak English, but we are different. Yeah. And that's what made travel so exciting. The things in American culture that could only have been born in America. Dude, America, it really should be kind of like Europe, like multiple different countries. Because even within here, like, okay, obviously you can tell I was born and raised in the West Coast, right? The stuff like that is never going to go away. But there's like actual really cool kind of dialects in other parts of the country. You know what I mean? And people in Pittsburgh talk way different than the French Cajuns in Louisiana. I can't even understand what they say at all, actually. And it's English, but it's really cray-cray. You know what I mean? And then you have Fargo, North Dakota, eh? And, you know, like, yeah, so even within this country, there's still so many differences. And by the way, don't ever confuse a redneck for a hillbilly, because they'll kick your fucking ass. Each of them are proud of, you know what I mean? And the other ones are all lazy losers. Doesn't matter who you ask. Because I did that. Like, because I would say, well, what's the difference between, and, you know, so first up here, I asked the hillbillies. Down in Florida, I asked the rednecks. And then there's also crackers there. And so they hate them all too. But yeah, they're all lazy and they don't work. And so then I'd go and ask the other one, well, what's the difference between a redneck and a hillbilly? And they'd look at me like, oh man, well, they're all lazy and they don't work. They're all inbred. They're all like, they all say that about each other. And that's within like normal, poorish white America kind of thing. You know what I mean? So these labels, isn't it time to just kind of like get rid of them? Because when we're, you know, it's bad enough that other people try to put you in a box. Why would you want to put yourself in a box? And we're all the same, that we're not the same. But we're the same when it comes to our human needs and our desires, right? Love, sunshine, fresh air, food, you know, shit like that. If you didn't have that label, the redneck would help the hillbilly, just like the BLMer would help the Trumper, right? Without those labels, wouldn't, you know, we would just be humans, right? All right, taking a trip to, oops, it just jumped. Where did it go? Taking a trip to San Francisco was amazing. Crossing the Golden Gate Bridge, going to Chinatown, Alcatraz. It was definitely cool. That is cool. It is a beautiful city. I miss San Francisco, but I probably won't be seeing those things anymore. So got to get back to work. Five Flames. Christy's on point tonight about the culture thing for sure. Bye. Okay, good night, Five Flames. I hope you have a good night at work. You are the Earth Mother of everyone's dreams. That's so funny. Well, come on over and play my little paradise. My Garden of Eden. All right. Yep, it's humans who are dying and being captured and deteriorated to death. What's especially and extra obviously weird about news stations, too, is how they talk. They teach them, especially the women, to speak so purposefully, matter-of-factly, and deep emotionless to hypnotize. Yeah. It is too plastic. And that's why they didn't like me, because I was too animated, and yeah, so that's kind of like a no-go. Yeah, but, if we're supposed to all be MK Ultra slaves, you can't, have emotion in there, because that would be bad. Yeah, that would be medicatable. Yeah, true. We should talk about other things, but I got to put my kid to bed in a couple minutes. Nice to talk, though. All right, Julia, thanks so much for being here. So it's just another day, and we're continuing to live our lives each and every day. Yep. All right. Your plants are all dressed up. Yeah, I put foil over them to deter the kitties in the house. So it was the best way I could come up with. I don't really want to put a fence in my bedroom, in their bedroom. Okay, England's like that too. Many cultures in one country. Nice. I remember playing football in high school. There was a foreign exchange student from Norway. He said there was a lot of different variety of culture in his country. Awesome. Yeah, it's because of news that we think everyone from a certain country is the same. It's just really pathetic. And we think we know because we watch something in the news, but we didn't ask an actual human from Norway, right? Or Australia, or Africa, right? Or Spain, or, Yeah. It's, quite an interesting world. It's weird because we're so close, we're literally connected at the click of a button, right? But we're so separated, we don't even know who the fuck we're, really talking to. Or, okay, so yeah, Wednesday's Australian. What does that mean? And really, where did that come from? And, I just think there's so much more to us. And I don't think we should focus on any of that. But culture is fucking important. What'd your grandparents teach you? Tell me, Yeah. So I hope that, we can't change the world, but we can change ourselves and our circumstances. And, there are other weirdos like us that do want to talk about those things and learn from other people and, their skills, their foods, their beliefs, but a lot of people are shamed out of it. Like I knew a French woman who was trying to pretend that she wasn't from France because she was embarrassed because the news was saying, France is traitors. So that's fucked up. My own Greek family would they'd get slapped upside the head if they spoke Greek. Like, well, we're in America now. We speak English. Well, I want to know more than just the bad words. You know what I mean? I feel like I got gypped. And what the fuck is an American? What the fuck is American food anyways? It doesn't even exist. They're like, are you going to tell me a goddamn burger and hot dog is American food? It's not even fucking food. Like, I like my Greek culture and heritage. I don't know the people on the other side with the Swedish and the German and what was the other one? How could I forget? Oh, Polish, duh. I don't know them. So I have never been able to learn anything from them. But other Polish people I met were pretty damn cool. And they actually kind of taught me a lot about their culture. I didn't know how similar they were to even the Greek culture and just, and how kind but, I watch news. So all white people suck. They're all out to get you. And Polacks are dumb, right? So if you're a Polak, you can't admit you're a Polak because then you're an airhead. And you know what I mean? And if you're German, then you're obviously a Nazi. So, we can't hear about that either. And it's so nuts. I love the world's cultures. Much of the youth today, I think, might shy away from embracing and celebrating other cultures out of fear of appropriating instead of appreciate. Oh my God! Yeah, how could we forget? We're misappropriating something at all times, I'm sure. One of my friends opened a shop in Portland in kind of a hip area and a metaphysical bookstore kind of thing and had a bunch of classes there. And one night she had the audacity to hold a class of somebody teaching them how to create dream weavers. They started a campaign against her, had her Facebook shut down. There were thousands of negative comments and ratings, literally within a day's span. They went after her hard, news, everything, because of cultural misappropriation. Because, of course, only one certain type of person is allowed to do that, and anyone else is what? Are you going to tell me I can't make fucking chicken cacciatore? You know what I mean? So I'm not Italian, so I am culturally misappropriating my favorite meal. That's nuts. I'm not going to have that fear, and I'm not going to hang out with people with that fear. I want to hang out with people that want to share what they like about their culture, whatever it is. Even fucking Arkansas has a culture, you know what I mean? Yeah, and I think that's pretty cool. And I didn't even know, really. I didn't pay attention to it because I watched the news and, Beverly Hillbillies, and they're so backwards there. So what could they possibly have to teach me, right? It's bullshit. But, it's not my fault because I was from America's finest city. So obviously we're the best and we know everything, and you poor people everywhere else in the country, I got priv. So, could you imagine all the ways we are just bombarded with programming and separation. It's mind-boggling. But you know what? We know. So we don't have to keep talking about it. We just need to do better and hang out with people that do better, right? Yeah. Like, how can we lift one another up? How can we lift ourselves up? How can we make a better life for ourselves and our loved ones? That's what we need to think about. What can we be learning? What can I teach myself? What skills do I have that I can share with somebody else? You know? Yeah. And if you are in a soul-sucking environment, get the fuck out. Get out now. Yesterday, last week, tomorrow is good enough, I guess. You know, it's kind of late. So, but through love, we can balance out. Where our focus goes, the energy flows. Good one, Mir. Joe, I already gave up traveling. I don't see things getting better. Vax passports coming up in EU soon. So that's that. Then I know that's where I'm at. It's a shame I didn't go to other countries sooner. But yeah, I guess we're done. You know, I'm not playing by their rules. I will not be injected with a poison to go anywhere, especially when I can go there in my dreams every night. Yeah, I'm not going to sell my soul. I never have. Why would I start now? You know what I mean? Like, if I was ever going to sell my soul, it would, you know, I've passed those tests. It certainly ain't going to happen when things are comfy and safe and shit like that, if it wasn't going to happen when things were not comfy and safe and I had no idea where my next meal or piece of toilet paper was coming from or shower. Yeah. I don't want to live through that again. I really don't, but I am so thankful. I am really so thankful. Okay, love has no labels. It's definitely amazing learning about different cultures in this world. Totally. Yeah, I wonder. I want to have something that like celebrates culture, you know? And if there's people that want to talk about you know, their culture, I think that would be so cool. That would be definitely something on Christy Aphrodite show. Which is going to start soon, by the way. So check the website, and then Christy Aphrodite on Facebook. And then Shiitake Radio is definitely going to come out. And so I said this earlier, but I'll say it again in case you came in late. If there are writers, bloggers, or shit talkers that would like a space to shit talk and not get deleted. And I know it's not Facebook and all the cool places, but I'm not doing it to be cool. I'm doing it because I want to be able to say what I want to say when I want to say it. And even if we're the only ones, you know, or me and my cats are the only ones that see it, I'm fine with that too, because it made me feel good doing it. And I like not being censored. But yeah, wouldn't it be cool to have people from different cultures and different parts of the country? And yeah. And even I've had other friends like from Israel and Palestinians that were afraid to talk about their culture here. And that fucking sucks. Yeah. Bring back what's real and wisdom of the ancients. You know what I mean? I want to know what my elders knew. Like, I can never learn enough. And I wish that there was somebody who could teach me their skills or things like that, you know? So don't lose that shit. And I'm going to call it a night because it says 333. and 50. So I'll wait till it's 3:34 before I say goodbye, because, you know, I don't want to be Illuminati and all. But yeah, guys, if you have, I want to thank you for your questions. And I hope I did all right answering the one I meant to tonight. And I'll get on another one super soon. I just had a lot going. Okay, so a lot going on. The yard stuff, the yard work, the paint, yeah. So I'm gonna, and yeah, but I want to be here more than once a week. And I'm really going to work towards that. But again, if not, then there's going to be the show for sure. And that'll be at least twice a week, maybe at least one Christie and one shiitake. So if I could do them both here, that would be cool. But dude, Joe, I am so glad to see you up at this hour. We've been missing each other for a while, and I miss you. So thank you so much. And Keith, thanks so much for being here. And of course, all the rest of you, Mir, Five Flames, Wednesday, Derek, Julie, Bradwick. I'm not going to remember everyone. I'm sorry. Love Cat. But yeah, I can't thank you enough for spending your time here and sharing your insights. And yeah, any questions or something I should ask or answer in the next Coffee with Christy, let me know. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. So yeah, thanks again. Have an awesome night. Bye.